They dropped the game, and what happened? This shit was a mess. It was trash.
Oh no, you're right. It was trash.
And everybody's going to be okay with it. They're going to say, "Oh, it's fine. Resolution don't matter. Frames don't matter. VR
I'm having fun. Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah. So you see, like when Puerto Rock asking for all of the modes and stuff, he's making the standard bear of what should be expected from Sony because they did it with the previous games. That should be the standard bear. But that's the mindset that a lot of people have with PlayStation games because we hold them so high where you gotta hit this fucking mark because that's what we come to know and expect from you.
Disagree,
but I'm side, they expect like their expectation is fucking less. It's like they don't like whatever.
I don't disagree, but I'm gonna wait till Sony with Insomniac or Insomniac and Sony make their official announcement on Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying no. You know. So my point is, I'm not saying go on a bashing crusade. I'm not saying
no. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got what you're saying. You know, here's your expectation, and that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah. So but to Jay Dubs, I'm gonna put it in a way you probably can understand. I'm a Yankees fan, right? You know that we both talk shit, right? I hold Yankees to a different standard than New York Mets. I don't care that the Yankees in my lifetime, I saw them win the World Series 5 times, and the last time the Mets won the World Series was 1986.
Yeah,
I don't care
that.
if me as a Yankee fan wants to go around and hold this high tier standard of Yankees being like one of the most elite organizations in baseball, whatever, right? Yeah, then I gotta hold them to that standards. I don't care about the Mets. I don't care if people hold the Mets or anybody else to that standard.
No, that's fine.
If the pinstripes is going to be held to that standard, then that just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So when I expect this from Sony, I don't really care. Like in all realness, I don't care what standards these Xbox guys hold Xbox. That's not my problem. Yeah. If you don't want to hold your box to the highest standard, then you are missing out on your money. That's your money. I didn't buy the shit. That's your problem.
Oh, you're right. That's a good point.
So I don't disagree. Yeah. So, but I play PlayStation, and PlayStation said we're gonna do this. Right? Yep. When Spider-Man didn't have these modes, it made sense because the VRR wasn't there. I'm like, okay, cool. It wasn't there. You cannot do something that's not capable of doing at that time. But once they implemented the mode, I'm like, and they added it, I'm like, yo, this mode is cool. Man, VRR with high frame rate now allow me to play Spider-Man in quality mode at 60 frames. Sometimes it jumped higher because what they really did was they unlocked the frames.
Uncapped.
So they uncapped it. They said.
I had it at 100. I had it at 109 the other day.
So they said. So they said, Jesus, take the wheel, let the console do what it do. And with ray tracing, it averaged around 60. And obviously with VRR, it smoothed it out. So it was great. It was a great experience. I was like, cool, Sony. My first thing was, hold up. My first thing was at the time was, hey, and I sent the message to Sony Santa Monica. I'm like, hey, are you going to provide these modes for God of War day one? Because God of War was not releasing for like another year or so, or a couple of months. Like, it was a while. And people responded like, oh, you got to give them time. They're not going to delay. I'm like, what are you talking about delay? They have plenty of time to implement this. Like, this mode should be day one. Because when you play the game day one, right? If the opportunity to play it at its best for that console is available, it should be available, right? I completely understand third party not doing it because it's not their console. Yeah. It's not their responsibility. It's Sony's responsibility. And guess what happened? God of War had all those modes. So I played that shit in quality quality mode. Right? Yeah, and I played it in quality mode, high frame rate. Amazing experience. I got all the bells and whistles and great frame rate, and I was happy, right? Now Spider-Man's coming out. I'm assuming it's gonna come out, so I have no issues. I'm not gonna go out there be like because I understand the people talking about it now is not the official Insomniac. It's some inside gamer. And they just know what they know. So I'm like, hey, they're not the official, whatever. Eventually, when we get closer to release, Insomniac will do what Santa Monica did. They'll release that nice little picture, and they'll show you each and every mode that you can play the game in. So then, and I'm waiting for that. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to go on a rampage for no reason because they haven't done nothing yet. But I'm going to say this now. I swear to God, if that game launches... and it's only quality mode and performance mode, and they come out with some bullshit saying, oh yeah, we'll update the game later with VR and high frame rate performance options later on. Nah, son, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game. Like, no. You not.
I think at the bare minimum, they launched the last one on PS5 with. It had 3 modes. It had the ray tracing mode at 1440p 60. It had the 30 FPS mode, and then it had a 60 checkerboarded mode. So I'm expecting that.
No.
But I understand. Wait a minute. I understand what you're saying.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. It's because the reason why the game launched that way is because the console didn't have VRR.
No, I agree.
They couldn't provide it. But you got it now. So therefore, you add it now. You got it now.
No, I understand what you're saying.
You know,
no,
so
you're not. I don't disagree.
Like, no.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. So, because it's got it. They got it. They, like you said at the beginning, they didn't have the VRR mechanisms in place. Yeah. So, it makes sense for but now you got it. They should launch with it. So, I don't disagree with that.
Like God of War. God of War. God of War Ragnarok launched with it because the console can do it. That's all I'm expecting. It should be a standard. It should just be standard to all PlayStation first-party games. But there are exceptions. For example, if your game is already running at 4K 60, then I get it. Why would you need high frame rate when the game's already at 4K 60? Like that, I get. I get that. Fine. You don't really need it when the game. But if quality mode is at 4K 30, then give us those high frame rate modes, unlock it, or add those extra 10 frames to get 4K 40. Improve the experience. That's what
we're all in agreement about. But we're all in agreement about the third party that they're not obligated.
Oh yeah. I always said that. Okay. It's not their console. It's not their console. Yeah. Their business is just to provide games across every platform they want. Yeah. And they're just going to give you a general good experience across the board. That's their job.
You want a good experience. Yeah.
You know? What I would like to see Sony encourage is when they deal with third-party exclusives. I think trying to get them to add those modes too would truly bring a great benefit to the PlayStation gamers. Because I always said the main thing about exclusives is not really the shit talking like, I got exclusive and your punk ass don't. That doesn't mean nothing. You really don't get anything out of that. It doesn't mean nothing. Because the person you're saying he's a punk ass could just buy a PlayStation Blade. So you end up playing the game anyway. The true benefit of exclusive is those features and the tools that the console provides that you can take advantage of and not worry about any other platform. So if you got a third-party exclusive and Sony, like me, if I work for Sony and I'm working third-party and we're making these deals, I'm going to be like, hey, what would it take for you to also invest your time into adding high frame rate mode and VR mode? Because I'm telling you, PlayStation gamers love it. It's a great feature. It's a great capability, to improve your games and stuff like that. What would it take? Oh, we need a little bit more money. Here you go, brother. We'll give you a little bit more money. Add those modes in.
I mean, they have the stats for that shit,
Yeah. And the beautiful...
because the stats show that most people choose performance mode, even if they don't have VRR. Yeah. Majority choose performance mode. So if someone like you who has a VR television,
we're going to choose it.
The high frame rate and also high resolution mode.
No, you're right. Just remember that we all have TVs or monitors that do VRR, but we're in the minority. But I don't disagree with what you're saying that at launch that they ought to, and they still might. I mean, again, it's not like I agree with you. I don't think it's gonna be a bad session until something official comes out. Like you said, Puerto Rock. Maybe we get that. Like they had with God of War. It had like what I can't remember. It was like 5 modes or 6 modes. They had a lot of modes. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. So we'll see. We got months. We still have months before that.
Oh yeah. So I'm not saying this. I'm not saying go on a rampage now because there's no reason to. Because the people only reporting are insiders. It's not the official source. So we gotta give the official team the opportunity to do their thing, right? Let them present what they want, right? So I'm not against that, right? So for the audience to know what I'm talking about is this right here, because I think some people still are not familiar, maybe because they don't have a VR TV or things like that, so they're not using it yet. So to the audience in the chat, what's up? Hey man, snap. Hey, welcome my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Thank you so much for rocking out. Hit the like button. Hey, I'm so glad and so happy that we came in hot, right? We just came in talking and stuff like that. Yeah. But hey, I'm so glad you guys are in here and stuff like that. But to the audience, this is what I'm talking about, right? So this is God of War day one, the various graphics modes that if you have a PlayStation 5, this is what you can do, right? So take, for example, The left column is when you favor performance across the board. So the first one where it says favor performance, 1440p to 2160p, 60 frame FPS target. Now
that is dynamic 4K. Let's call it what that is.
Pretty much dynamic 4K, right? So that's pretty much anyone that has a 4K TV. Everyone gets that default option. Now, if your TV is 120 hertz, you got high frame rates, right? You can do 1440p, unlock 60 frames FPS. Now in this mode, what they mean by unlocked, sometimes this mode could go up to 100 frames, 110 frames. Yeah. They just said, Jesus, take the wheel for this at 1440p. So 1440p locked and let the frames do their thing, right?
But you sacrifice the resolution. You're coming down to 1440p.
Yeah, you're going down 1440p. All right.
Yep, correct.
Now, with favor performance mode, HFR and VR, it's the same thing, 1440p unlock 60 FPS, but with VR, you get a nice smooth transition. It's not as buggy, it's not busy, whatever. So so if you have VRR and high frame rate, for performance, that is the best option. You have the very best choice, which is 1440p unlock 60 FPS with VRR, smoothest performance. Now, if you go over to the middle block, this is for those who want that quality. You want the graphics. You want the bells and whistles, right? So by default, you got a 4K TV, you got native 4K, lock that 30. That is what it is, right? Now, if you got, quality, if you favor quality with high frame rate, that means 120 hertz enabled. It's dynamic anywhere between 1800p to 2160p, but you get an extra 10% or an extra FPS boost. So you get an extra 10 frames. And believe it or not, you noticed it because I played it. 40 frames is much better than 30. It is.
Yeah, it does help. It does help.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. 40 frames versus 30 frames, there's a significant difference. Even though it's just 10 frames per second, it is better, right? But if you got VRR, which is what I played, I favor quality, HF, high frame rate plus VRR. Once again, they unlock it and they say Jesus takes the wheel. So it's 1800p to 2160p, so dynamic 4K, unlock 40, meaning it targets 40, but in reality, you're playing this game like around 60. It's fucking amazing. They said, Jesus, take the wheel, let the PlayStation do what it do. It's fucking amazing. Excuse my language. And that's what I want to do. I want quality, HFR, and VR. I want that. Yeah. That's the best experience, period. Yeah. Right? Obviously outside of a gaming PC, right? Whatever, right? But for the console, that is amazing, that mode. That mode is, and I wish more. I agree. I wish more took advantage of it, right? But I understand from a third-party perspective, not going to happen. This is primarily the responsibility of the first party. And I would like to see Sony, with third-party deals, encourage their partners who do exclusives to provide these modes. Because I'm telling you, man, this resolves a lot of issues with performance, stuff like that. Like if Final Fantasy would have had these modes, no one would be talking about, the performance issues or whatever. It wouldn't be a thing. When you have all these modes, performance discussions is just not really a thing. Because you have so many options to get what you want. It's fucking amazing for a console. It's amazing. Yeah. This is the closest thing. These are just great options, and that's it.
Even the Pro.
Someone said in the chat, 40 frames, no lag.
Oh, there you go. You know what? We have to add high frame rate mode to this podcast.
Yeah, HFR mode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add. We're gonna have to get into HFR mode. You know what I'm saying?
Puerto Rock, it's going to be interesting to see how Sony tackles this game going forward, especially now that they're over the whole cross-gen games thing.
Hell yeah.
It's next-gen only games. It's going to be interesting to see how they tackle some things going forward. And, for example, the graphical fidelity boost, so the game's going to be bigger, whatever the limitations were there for cross-gen. Will we be able to see that? We saw it in Ratchet and Clank. We saw things that wouldn't be able to be performed on, on the PS4 without heavily compromising, such as load times, the fidelity of the graphics, some of the stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if Spider-Man 2 is going to be that game that's going to show that, or if it's going to be another first-party game. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's gonna be
I think it's gonna be in there. I don't see a reason for them not to do it. I just don't see the reason. In fact, they were the first to do it. So that's normal to them. So I can see right from the beginning, as they develop the game, they're going to implement it right from the start. I think every Sony first-party studio is implementing so I really believe that's in there.
God of War, Naughty Dog games with Uncharted, all that stuff. Every single first-party game. Fucking even Returnal has added the modes, patches, and all that stuff afterwards.
Oh yeah.
So that's true. So that's a good point about Returnal. Yeah, I forgot all about that. That's a very
they even went back and patched I think Days Gone, some of the older games to do some of that stuff. So it's going to be interesting, like I said, going forward to see how they tackle and again, just like what they added in Gran Turismo and stuff after the fact. I think going standard, like Puerto Rock said, this is the new norm. These are things that they provided for us for all of their games thus far. So for them to go and make a game that wouldn't have these, it's going to be interesting seeing how they explain that or what.
Yeah, because they added it. They added it to Forbidden West too, didn't they? They went back in.
But it's like a lot of games they had to go back. A lot of games they had to go back. But like Forbidden West, that's another example of at the time when Forbidden West launched, they didn't have VR. So that makes sense. If you didn't unlock it for the console, then clearly the game's not gonna have it. You had to work on the capabilities of the console first and stuff like that. But let's start with the intros, man. We're gonna start with Craig. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's happening? Playing Jedi Survivor. I played a little more Madden before I go pick up the new one here in another 48 hours. So
the new Madden's coming out?
Well, I think it may have come out for some people today. They have the deluxe.
If you got the ultimate, ultimate edition, it drops today. If not, you gotta wait till Friday.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go pick mine up Friday at 4 at Target. So,
are they still using 2019 stadiums, or did they finally update to 2020 stadiums?
Well, I don't think there's any new stadiums since then. But no, I don't know. I'll find out.
You don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about, right?
I'll find out Friday. Yeah.
So what
your eyes they look new. If you
so I think it was the Madden 22, not this year's, but the one 22. Somebody like you know how you do replay, you know how you do replay and whatever. So they put in replay, and you know how you can move the camera. Well, one of the stadiums it said Madden 2019 on the billboard.
Oh, you serious? On the billboard? Yes. Wow, I didn't know.
On the billboard. So they zoomed in. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like, they didn't change anything, and that's why I said, did they finally update the stadium to 2020 at least?
Yeah, they may have. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find out Friday when when I get it and get it loaded in. So
when you zoom in this year's of the game, this version, when you zoom in, there's a sticker over the number.
What was that? That was Grand Theft Auto. That they did that.
Who did?
Yeah, they stickered it.
The remaster.
Oh yeah.
They literally did that. One of the jerseys still had the old number, and they just darkened it. They darkened it and put the new number on it.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't catch that.
So that's not even a joke, bro. Like that really happened.
How that works is there's a texture for you see the colors, and there's something called normal map, and that's what gives things like depth. So that's why you see the number sticking out, because the texture for the normal was a 6, and the texture for the color was like a 7. So you were like, what the fuck?
Yo, this shit
they were
is funny.
lazy as shit.
Oh
yeah.
Hey, J-Dub, did you retweet that video with Parris talking shit about gamers, so I can have that prep for the audience?
I think I did. I'm
trying to find it.
I'll find it and send it.
Yes, sir. Anyway, all right. Thanks. Good looking out, Craig. All right, call me Jay. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, man? Good to be here. Xbox is the best bot, and Kids Move is the best bot. That's my intro.
Oh shit! Here we go. All right, that's
shout out to Xbox.
Okay, shout out to you. Who else we got here? Okay, we got Extreme.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's going on, man? You ready? You ready? You ready to get Starfield?
Yeah, man.
I heard there's nothing but black people in Starfield, so you gotta get. I'm telling you, I heard.
Yeah, that'll do it. You know how.
That will do it. You'll be like, you know what?
That'll do it.
That will get him an Xbox. I'm getting an Xbox.
Get what I'll do what I need to do. I'll do what I need to do.
How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
What have I been playing? I've been playing Disco Elysium. I'm not sure if anyone has been playing that
I'm familiar
game.
with it. I heard. Familiar with it.
Yeah, finally got to it. So that's what I've been playing, and yeah, that's all.
It's a good game.
Did they? Hey, J-Dub, did they post it in our little bot versus pony group chat? You know, because they post everything in that motherfucker. So.
Oh yeah. Any article coming? I got it. I'm
you got
it to you right now. Yeah. Look in our the 60 frame one. I just sent it to you.
The message group.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right, got it.
There you go.
Yo, hoodie. So I'm gonna say that right there. We're gonna say that right there. All right, good to go. Yeah. And then we're gonna finish off. We got everybody. Everybody did their shout out. All right, J-Dub, you already did your thing.
I'm. You
already preached the sermon.
What's good, everybody? Not yet. What's good, everybody? I hope y'all doing good. It's been a beautiful day, beautiful Tuesday. I woke up this morning. I checked my PlayStation app to see what was new on the PlayStation Store, and got that Green Hell in VR. So after this podcast, I'm gonna boot that up and try that out. It's been out on PC for a little bit. Really highly rated. Everyone loves it on PC. So I'm gonna see how it runs on the PS VR 2. What else? We got a lot of stuff coming next week. Firewall Ultra VR. That's huge game that's coming out. So all the VR guys are waiting for that. It's a sequel to the first game on the first VR. We know we got freaking Spider-Man coming along. We got Starfield coming along. So we'll see, man. There's a lot of games dropping this month. Some I'm gonna pass on. Some I'm gonna, some I'm gonna go ahead and pick up. But it's just a lot of fucking games. So.
Yeah, I agree. Got a budget.
Speaking of VR, I really hope that PlayStation makes a Spider-Man VR. But Sony already did it. They made like a little demo a couple years ago, and it was pretty good.
that was like a movie thing. Yeah,
the movie tie-in shit.
Yeah, it was like a movie tie-in.
Yeah, the physics on it were really good. So it's just make the game, dude. Just make the fucking game.
God damn, that ad bar is obnoxious. It's taking up half the fucking. God damn, that shit is obnoxious.
Zoom out, and so you can see the accent.
Hey, they trying to make sure they get paid on that ad.
Yeah, but you think you do? Let me see.
What's going on, y'all?
There's no X.
What's good? What's good?
Oh, so who's that? Who's up here?
Ramon.
Oh shit, Ramon, what's going on, my brother? My man he packing up his ex. He said he's done.
Oh, you still haven't sold it?
That's it.
Well, I put it up for sale yesterday, so I had a buyer, but then whatever happened in his life, he wasn't able to. So
he saw my podcast. He saw my podcast, bro. Don't be recommend. Listen, don't recommend my podcast while you're trying to sell Xbox consoles. It is not the way.
No, I'm trying to sell it before the holidays come along, and then they drop it to like $300 or something.
Oh shit, yeah, they would do that too. What did they? They would do that shit. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Ramon, let me ask you something. Let's do a quick chit chat. Real quick chit chat, right? Because this is a rare. So for those of you know, Ramon Terrell, he's a thespian of the arts, right? I'm not lying. I'm not lying, right? You tell him your little background, right? You did Once Upon a Time. That's how I recognized him. Because when he's like everybody's talking, chatting, I see him on podcasts. I'm like, wait a minute, this motherfucker was one of the elves. And I think I'm the only one in the community that noticed, right? The Merryman, yeah. I'm like, this guy was one of the goddamn Merrymen. And I think I'm the only one that noticed. And you were like, oh shit, like you noticed? I'm like, yeah, like. So yeah. So I'm like, wait a minute, I recognize this dude, and I thought I was bugging, right? I'm like, yo, this dude talking about games. I know I seen this dude. He's an actor. And then I'm looking, and I'm like in my head, and then I'm thinking, wait a minute. Once Upon a Time, because me and my wife, we binged that show. Listen, don't judge. The show was good. Don't budge. Don't judge, all right? It was good. I enjoyed it.
All right.
Listen.
We won't judge.
All right? Listen, don't judge. All right? Don't judge, all right? Hey, support your actors. I supported Ramon. Can y'all say y'all supported Ramon? I can say I watched this shit.
Roll that R.
Ramon, you know what I'm saying? I support it. You know what I'm saying? I put in my ballot for his Emmy. Like, get this man an Emmy. You know what I'm saying? No, but you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what I want to ask you, maybe this is a topic for another day, but how do you feel about what's going on? Like, can you tell us the big issue with what's going on with writers and actors? What you would call it?
Basically, the strike. Yeah,
the strike.
Well,
the strike.
Basically, the business model has changed, but the contracts have not, and they want to stick to the old way of doing things. But the problem is, we don't get residuals on streaming service shows, and also our residuals are a pittance compared to actors decades ago. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. The first thing I was ever on was Supernatural, and that was in 2011, I think.
I remember that too.
First residual. Oh man. Well, my first residual check was some years later. I was surprised to get it because I forgot about it, and it was like, I think it was like somewhere between $200 and $300, I think. And this was after some years, so it's like our residual.
So hold up. Can you explain that? Can you explain like this whole residual thing? Like, what is that? Like,
okay, so basically,
explain
let's
this.
take Seinfeld.
You know, I don't want to get you in trouble because I know you actors do weird shit. So I don't want you guys sacrifice to Lucifer or anything like that.
No, it's all
whatever you're allowed to say. You know what I'm saying?
Puerto Rock trying to make he gonna make you a permanent member of the panel.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But like how does this residual thing work? Like, what do you mean by residual? How does the what is it? The Screen Actors Guild, right? I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, well,
how does that work?
There's several different actor unions. Screen Actors Guild is the U.S. one. I'm eligible for it, but the only reason why I haven't joined it is because I'm based in Canada, even though I'm American. So I'm with the Canadian what do you call it? Union. So our negotiations haven't come up yet, but we're just supporting down there. So anything that we are in is either all Canadian show or it's a show that was already under contract and was underway before the strike. So as far as residuals go, basically you are on a show. Let's say you're on a show today. You had like maybe one day or you had a few days, whatever the case is.
Let's say I'm the star of Wolverine. I'm Wolverine, and it's a Disney Plus TV show.
Okay, so
hey, before you laugh, don't doubt me. I could be a motherfucking beast as Wolverine. Don't doubt me. Don't test the waters. Don't doubt me. You never know. You might piss me off. I'm only an hour away from LA. Don't make me.
It fits, bro. Yo, P-Rock. It fits. All you gotta do is let your hair grow. The hairline's already there, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Let your hair grow. Boom. The lines.
half the community thinks I'm like 5'2" anyway, so fuck it. I already fit the billet right there and shit. Right? All right, so go ahead, keep going. All right, so I'm Wolverine. Let's go.
Well, if you're in Wolverine in the Disney Plus show, you get no residuals because it's streaming. Residuals are whenever an episode airs. After its initial airing, you get certain members of the cast get residuals from that. But streaming is accessible anytime, anywhere, whenever someone wants. So you don't get residuals for that.
So you don't get shit.
You don't get shit. So like they want to keep us on that. And see, here's the thing.
So wait, so you're saying I still gotta do my podcast, even though I'm Wolverine on Disney Plus? I need super chats. I still need these super chats.
Oh, dude, you would be surprised, man. Some of the actors that are in high profile stuff, like their first high profile jobs, they didn't get paid nearly what you think they did. And
shit.
Like people think actors make all this money and we sit around a pool and shit. They don't understand like the sacrifices and everything. But the thing is like, okay, for example, I was in a Hallmark with Patti LaBelle and Holly Robinson, right? So in that 6 days, I made $11,000, but I didn't work again for 6 months after that, and then I only worked one more time after that. So even though 6 days, $11,000 sounds like a lot, if you're stretching it,
you only work 6 days the whole year.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for laughing, but it's true. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, so it sounds good in the moment, but you're stretching that across years. So that's why most of us still have a job. Like I still have a job. If I was able to book one job at my tier, the stuff that I book, I go out for bigger stuff, but I tend to book principal jobs, which is second from the bottom. 1 day a month. If I was able to work 1 day a month, I wouldn't have to work a job.
Yeah.
And that's how hard it is. I don't even get work one day a month. I was starting to get to that until COVID hit. And when COVID hit, we went to self-tapes. And with self-tapes, the casting directors like it because they can see a ton more actors. But when they see a ton more actors, it's easy to get lost in the mix. So I was making a lot of progress and then got shoved back down to the bottom with the self-tapes. But yeah, dude, like these motherfuckers that make like 37 billion million a year and like $50 million a year are talking about we're being unreasonable. It's like, man, fuck you, dude. How many yachts do you need? Like one of those guys' salary could pay an entire crew, an entire like production. There are whole TV like episodic shows like on Netflix that don't cost $37 million to make. Yeah. Think about that. This dude makes 30 like that dude who had that quote. He makes 37,000 million a year, and there are whole 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 episode series like on streaming that don't have that that don't have that budget. So let that shit sink in, and that's why we're fighting them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just one aspect. But with these guys, what I guess the powers that be. Now these motherfuckers are basically trying to
use AI.
Use AI. So if you act one time, if Ramon did one job one time before,
I heard about that.
He got paid.
Yep.
They can use his likeness and his image and create an AI version of him and put it in any TV show, any movie they want.
I heard about that. They try to say they could like go into a deal, and now once they got your image, they can always use it for everything, and you get no
ever. Yeah, and they paid you one time.
You're watching a movie that is probably like the #1 movie in the world. You didn't get paid a penny on it, because that's not you. That's an AI version of you.
And that's the shit that they want to do. They basically want to erase it. And it's the same with the writers. They're trying to get the writing AI as good as possible to mimic good writing so that they can eliminate writers.
Yeah,
like
guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. 10 to 20 years from now, right? If
well, you heard the Drake song.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy.
So music is going through the similar thing right now that the actors are going through, right? This is a whole different thing. Mark my words, in 10 to 15 years from now, you're going to be watching the NFL game. You're going to be watching fucking the NFL game on Sundays. And
it's
those
all
are
AI.
not going to be real players. Those are going to be all AI. It's going to look just like the real players and everything else. But guess what? They don't have to pay anybody anything but the engineers to run the computers and service the servers and stuff. This shit is crazy.
Let me tell y'all something. Chat, we got to make a promise. We got to have a promise, chat. If in a few years YouTube has a 60 frames no lag AI version, we going to war together. We going to war. If there's an AI Puerto Rock, we gonna go to Google. We gonna grab your machetes, grab your pipes, grab you some Haitians. We going to the lobby. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We gonna tear that place up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that shit is wild.
Hear me out, Puerto Rock. This is that dark evil side, right? I'm finna turn into the dark evil J-Dub. Let's say I'm an executive. And I say, let's say I'm Puerto Rock and I'm doing 60 frame no lag. And it's like, man, it takes a lot to run a podcast. You got to get a group of people together and make sure the synergy is right. You got to do all the shit on the computer, the OBS. You got to, go out there and have a presence. It's a lot of hard work putting on the podcast, making it successful and everything else, right? Now, let's say if I came to you, J-Dub came to you and say, hey, Puerto Rock, hey, how about this, man? Instead of us doing the podcast on Tuesday, how about we do the podcast every single day? You'd be like, man, I got to work. I got my wife. I got kids. I said, no, don't worry about that. I'm going to take care of it. I
got to make fun of these bots. You know what I'm saying? Twitter's not going to curate itself.
well, hear me out.
He said, "Hear me out."
Wait before you. Okay, now let's say I came to you with some software and I say, okay, listen, this software I wrote right now, right? It's ran by AI. It's ran by supercomputers in the background. We're going to install it on your computer and run it by default. So every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern time, the 60 frames no lag podcast is going to go, but it's going to be ran by AI. It's going to be you technically because it's your image. It's going to be me. It's going to be M. It's going to be everybody on the panel, right? And it's going to automate itself. And guess what? You get the revenue from that all the time by not even being there. would you? I mean, if nobody knows, I mean, hey, why not, right? You'd be like, okay, cool, I'll do it, right? So multiply that times $1 billion. Let's say this billionaire, he has, he's running Netflix or he's running some other industry. He has the opportunity to automate all of that stuff without putting in the hard work. That's what they're looking at. That's what they're trying to say, shit, I mean, we can save money. We don't have to pay for these, insurance for all these people. We don't have to pay all these salaries and all of this stuff. I've already paid them once. What do these greedy people want from me? That's their mindset of how they're looking at this. So they think that, hey, I unfronted the money for all this stuff for all these years. Now I should just be able to sit on autopilot and cruise control and collect the dividends. That's how they see it, and that's why they're coming from their angle on it. It's from the opposite side, it looks nefarious, but from the investor side, it's like, dude, this whole TV series, The Orange is the New Black, that whole thing for its whole run might have cost me $3 billion. That came out of pockets and my investments and my money and my stuff. I deserve more money for that. Why should I have to keep paying them for that? That's their side of the thing. So everyone on this side, right, on the common man side, was like, no, you deserve to pay these people for their time, for their efforts, their insurance, and everything else, because it's the right thing to do. It's the right humanitarian thing to do. You probably underpaid them. You got, there's more than just actors, right? You got your writers, your lighting guys, your photographers, all your executive staff, your cleaning crew, everybody plays a part. And I think a majority of those people are highly underpaid compared to the success that a lot of these movies and TV shows make.
Spot on.
Right?
Spot on.
And
you would be surprised.
It literally, what it is. But I do think, right, and I'm playing both sides here. I can see the executive side, but I'm also part of the common man where I can understand their side too. There needs to be a sit down at the table and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And I'm not an expert. I don't have, a magic bullet.
Well, they've actually tried that. They've actually been trying to do that.
Well, they offered them 35% more, and I get it, but those actors,
but the stipulations that come with that was again the whole AI thing. I think it should be off the table. That's slavery. That's past being a human. To be able to take someone's likeness, someone's image. I mean, I know you guys have seen the Black Mirror, right? You seen the episode with Salma Hayek. You seen that? That wasn't them, but they created this whole thing about this lady life, and they're making all this money. The show's successful. They're not getting the dividends on it, and it could lead to a lot of bad stuff. And I think these were the warnings that a lot of people try to tell us about AI, and it's something new. And anytime you have something new, there's always going to be somebody who's going to look to not only monetize it, but to try to monopolize it and not be fair with it. And I just think, guys, here's a day of reckoning coming with that.
So here's my thing. So I'm glad you brought out those points, J-Dub, because you did bring out actual great points on both sides of the fence, right? So obviously the business sides, the people that make the money, that's all they care about, and they see a huge opportunity to make even more money, right? Now, from the whole thing is, so we'll use movies, we'll use sports. You brought up two great examples. Now, for me, I think we as a society lost the whole reason why movies, TV shows, or even sports are so treasured, right? And it's because we're seeing humans do something.
Exactly.
Right? That's the whole point. The whole point is a live human doing something. And like the thing with AI, right? It's not a human. So you're just going to get a default bland system that's perfect across the board. When in acting, and while in acting, you're going to have these amazing actors that do incredible things like, holy shit, you're going to get like the Heath Ledger Joker performance. And then you're going to get movies with like trash ass, like, whoa, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. But that's because it comes with the territory because they're human. So when you see a Heath Ledger performance, you're like, holy shit. When you see a Christopher Nolan production, the thing that makes it amazing is that a human being did this. You're like,
exactly.
When you watch Jordan fly in the air, you're like, what the fuck did Jordan do? How did Kobe make that shot? That takes that is gone when you have AI replicate that. All of the magic is gone. It's just numbers in a statistical number. Nothing's amazing no more. It's fake.
It's all imitation, and some of the biggest magic happens by accident on sets. Some of the best moments in film weren't planned, and they just happened. And when they happened, and this is the point I want to drive home. When those moments happened that weren't supposed to happen, when you have a professional veteran actor, they stay in character and they roll with that whatever it was that happened that wasn't supposed to happen, and that's where you get magic.
Do you guys remember? Some of you, I know you guys have seen the movie Django. Do you guys remember Leonardo DiCaprio when he slammed his hand on that table on that glass?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. He slammed his hand down and the glass broke and it cut his hand, but he stayed in character. That emotion that he had from that, they said that scene there was one of the most powerful scenes from that, because they saw this guy freaking jam his hand on a piece of glass and it cut him deep. He stayed in character and he used that to show the pain and the suffering and the anger that he had in his face relative to. They go into detail about a lot of these actors and a lot of different scenes. A lot of this stuff is just improv acting. Some stuff is wrote in the script, but coming off the actor, it just doesn't sound right. So they improv it and they make it them and they make it better. Some of these moments are like the key to a movie. So that
happened in Endgame. Yeah, that happened in Endgame with Robert Downey Jr. when he called Cap a liar at the very beginning. At the beginning of the movie, that was ad lib. But what I know about the actors, I know actors, and they actually negotiate better. They just say, "Well, just give me part of your movie." Like that's what Downey Jr. did. He's like, "Well, just give me a little salary, but give me part of these movies." And yeah, they're I don't know how I see both sides, but ultimately, when you have people out here, I went to work the other day and saw a whole family that's homeless. So when you have a group of people saying, "Well, we want more money," that's what they're saying. They have been caught on video. Being interviewed saying, "We want more money. We want a bigger piece of the pie." Well, they'll just bring in somebody to replace you, because somebody will come in and write for less money than what you think you should.
And
make.
you get and here's the thing: you get what you pay for.
I agree.
You get what you pay for, and the thing is everybody wants this high fucking quality. They want this high quality work, but they completely discount what it takes to get to that. Like all of the fucking days when you stay at home and you're doing nothing but working on your craft, when you're attending classes and all the investment that it takes to take classes, and you're spending all of that time, you're supposed to are you supposed to have a full-time job and then still do the caliber work that they want? You, at a certain point, you can't do it. Leonardo DiCaprio can't give a performance like that and still work a 9-to-5 job. You can't
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And the thing is we're talking about the 1%. Actors like me, seriously, dude, we make, by comparison and how much some of us book, we don't make nearly as much as people think. And I mean, you can grab somebody homeless off the street or some amateur actor or writer to write for you, and it's going to be garbage. And then people are going to be like, "Man, TV is garbage, man. I miss the old days when the writing was really good."
Well, and you make a great point, right? There's more actors that are that's in that 1%, right? The Leonardo DiCaprios and the Robert Downey Jr.'s and those guys, right?
Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind though, right? Again, trying to look at it from an empty slate and not be biased one side or the other.
Yeah.
I read the stats, and the stat is 1 out of every TV show or movie actually make profit. Right, so you got to think about it. They're paying these guys, whether this TV series or these movies, whether it's successful or not, they have their paycheck, right? They get paid and they go about their merry way. So after the actors got paid and moved on to their next gig, it's up to this movie to do what it's going to do. And if this movie bombs, and if it doesn't make the revenue back, and if it doesn't make any profits, then this is the angle from the business side where guys like, fuck, we've did 5 of these type shows and all of them bombed. So we're in the hole now, 1.5 billion. But if we make this one Netflix show that just may, that it may catch fire and it's a hit, And so, of course, they want to, just like any corporation, they want to take them that negative 1.5 billion loss, and they want to make that back to the black. They're tired of being in the red. So it's that type of attitude of why they make a lot of decisions. That some of it is greed, absolutely, but I mean those are big corporations, and there's a lot of people and their money are funding this stuff. That's why I say there has to be a compromise somewhere. I'm not saying down the middle, but there has to be a compromise somewhere, because I do understand there's actors that go out there and they come, some of them get paid a couple of $100. Right now they're not working, so they don't have Leonardo DiCaprio money, right? They don't have Oprah Winfrey money or
no. That's
money. So they're
like an NFL strike. Right
now
that's like an NFL strike.
They have to go find a 9-to-5 job, right? They have to go find a job to pay their bills, because they don't have the millions in the bank that's just sitting there and rolling in. And that's
that's the leverage the studios have. It's the same thing that happens they're going to wait them out. This is the thing that happens in the NFL. The first 2 picks, maybe the 3rd pick, they got some money. They got this, but that guy in the 4th round, 5th round, he going to have some trouble. And so that's what's going to be interesting, because Bob Iger, who's the head right now at Disney, he said, we'll just wait them out. Yeah. He said, we offered them 30+%. That's more than they've been offered since like in 30 years or something like that. They are going to have to take that, and we'll see. I agree. I mean, I agree with what, because you got a director, the guy that directed Avatar, James Cameron. He come out and said that this movie needs to make $2 billion to get the money, because you're talking about the investors and how they want their money maybe 2-3 times back. So and it comes out and it makes its money, but how much did those actors get paid? A lot of those actors get paid a lot of money. So,
think about a top tier actor like Tom Cruise, right?
Go ahead.
Every movie he does, I mean, in order to get him to wake out of bed, you're gonna have to pay him $30 million.
Yeah.
So this stuff started going down when his latest movie came out, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And he invested a lot of his money into that, right? Because I think it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck, this shit happens. I done invested, $5-10 million of my money into this damn project, and it's finna hit the movie theaters, and then all of this stuff goes down. And of course, because of what's going on, they can't actively, physically go out there and advertise the movie because they can't work. You're not supposed to be working. That's the whole part of it. So how do you let people know that this movie's in movie theaters and all this stuff? And with his star-studded talent and people that are around him who's supposed to be, Ving Rhames and all those guys supposed to be pushing this movie, now they can't do that. So guess what? It's a possibility that movie is not going to make his money back.
I agree.
Because something that was not his fault, right? It's not really his fault, but because of the status of what's going on in the industry. That's that. Now he's going to be like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to get my next 2 movies financed, because now I'm in a hole, right? I'm in that hole, the negative 300 million or however much.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but Tom, remember, Tom fought Paramount from putting Top Gun Maverick onto streaming, and he got I've heard reports of upwards of 71 million. But remember, they held that movie out of theaters for like 2 years. But no, you're right. Yeah, but you're right overall as far as they may lose some money on the front with Cruise, but he's so bankable that I understand what you're saying. I understand what everybody's saying, but it's almost like when you had these people screaming about their rent going up too much. It's like, okay, well, look at your lease. They can raise the rent whatever they want. On the backside of your lease in most states. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I agree with you, J-Dub, that hopefully calmer heads prevail, and everybody can sit down and come up with a solution. Because I like going to the movies and being entertained. I can't speak for nobody else here, but I would like to see them get more money, but it's just they don't have any leverage. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the problem.
The downside to this may push them to proceed even quicker with the whole AI stuff,
Yeah, that's the thing. The leverage. I agree.
Going on, they wouldn't care because all this other stuff is automated. They already have your likeness. They have your looks, your voices, everything else.
But the thing though is all of that is not in contract, so they can be sued because none of us, for the work that we've already done, there was no verbiage in the contract saying that they could use our likeness and everything else in AI. So if they tried to do that, they can be sued.
That's true.
And then that's
that could be. I guess that would be like going forward. You guys are really going to have to look at your contracts because they're not going to spell it.
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
Look at these the rappers and the singers, right? That end up in these shitty 360 deals. That they sold a bazillion copies, but they only got
they got 350 per.
They
got 350.
And they're sitting there with the top streams and the top albums, right? And this happened throughout the industry, but this is happening in movies now. It's going to happen in sports and everywhere else. It's man, I hate to say it. It's a raw deal, man. It's a raw deal.
Well, everyone in every sector should be watching what's happening with us right now because it's only going to spread out to every facet of working life.
Watching. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I certainly hope it works out because I just don't. I mean, outside looking in, let me make that 100% clear. I just don't see the leverage. The studios, just in my opinion, have all the leverage at this point in time. Now, that's why I hope everybody, somebody, I think you were just saying that there's been one or two sit downs, so maybe at least they're still talking to each other, and that's it's not like nobody's talking. The main thing is lines of communication.
I would say the only reason why the studio seems like to have a leverage is because all right, so
they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't have that much leverage that it appears they have.
So the strength that the writers and actors have is what happens when the viewers are like, man, when we notice like, hey, what the fuck is happening? Man, this is trash. You know what? I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah, you're right.
But it takes a while to get there because first is the initial strike, which stops production, stops shows, and then over time, because these shows aren't coming out, we the consumer review stuff will notice later on. It's not like it happens the next day. Like, they go on strike today and then tomorrow, oh my God, every show's because they still got shows that got done production. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ramon, they're showing shows that's already been done like months and whatever ago. But over time, they're going to run out and people are going to notice like, yo, we're not seeing new shit. What's going on? They keep, they're trying to bring back Laverne and Shirley. Like, what the fuck? Like, where's the new shows? And that's when it hits hard. And that's when people be like, well, you ain't giving me new shit. I don't need to be subscribed to Disney Plus or Peacock or whatever. I ain't seen nothing new.
There are other countries. That employ actors, stunt guys, stunt actors, crews, etc. Ryan Reynolds is Canadian. He can come up here and do an all Canadian production because Canada has its own thing. So, New Zealand and all these other countries, all they have to do is have good content, and the world is a lot smaller than it used to be. And as far as other, actors, them trying to stall us out, well, the more than 50%, maybe even more than 70% of actors have jobs anyway, and it sucks, but we would just end up just staying at our jobs and keep working and supporting ourselves. So the actors that don't that do act for a living, like
they're the ones.
They're the ones that are kind of in a sweaty position because they may not be the millionaire actors, but they're like the six figures actors. But how long can you ride on that? So they're the ones that are kind of in the precarious spot.
Okay. I'll tell you this: even the guys that are in the $1 million bracket, they're feeling this shit too. Because you got to realize they have
money runs dry.
Their lifestyle is up.
They bought that $10 million mansion.
The lifestyle is a big one.
They got a $50,000-$60,000 a month mortgage. They got that lifestyle. Their kids
that they got to keep up.
Private school. Their mistresses are running crazy around town. You know what I'm saying? Like she can get.
You're right.
This Maserati. Hey, listen. I need that brand new 2023 Maserati. I just bought you the 2022. That's last year, motherfucker. You want me to drive around in last year's shit? That shit is all.
This is also, but all of this when we come.
you guys ever heard that saying? The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
The taller you are as a person, the harder it is when you fall. If you're a short person and you fall, it won't hurt as much as if you're a tall person. It's the same thing like that when it comes to the movie. These big people, when they fall, it's hard for them to go to that type of lifestyle. To coming down to the common man's level.
And the lesson in this that I think we'll start to see more of once we come out the other side of this is actors who make big money maybe opting for a nice 3,000 or 4,000 square foot house and having two really nice cars versus having 20,000 square foot compounds and shit like that. Like it's a lesson because you never know.
It's ridiculous. They overdo it too. They get these houses and like granted, if you got the money. But do you really need 19 bedrooms and you never see it? Like, yo, that's like exactly. That's just like the human in me, like just the ethics in me. That's like, yo, that's just like I couldn't do it. Even if I could afford it, I don't want 19 bedrooms. Like, who's gonna clean this shit?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's so much to maintain. Like, dude, I would be happy with our house paid off, 2 vehicles, 1 EV, 1 hybrid, and me being able to act and write for a living without having to worry about money. Like, what do we need, like, an 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 square foot house for? Like, I mean,
it's because when you live that lifestyle, when you're around those circles, you do.
And that's the key. It's if you're around those circles. Right? Yeah. And that's if you're around those circles. Because I mean, look at Keanu Reeves, look at Denzel Washington. They're not up in that shit. The only time you hear from them typically is when they have something new coming out.
No, you're right. They have the money without doing all that crazy stuff. Yeah, man. But they're very rare, but that's also
they are.
They're mature. They're of age. But if you're hanging around the Kardashians all the time,
all the glitz and glamour shit and the red carpet and stuff,
those are your friends, and they go out to eat. You're gonna want to go out to eat. Of course, their dinners $20,000. They have $20,000 dinners versus the guy that's going to freaking KFC or Jack in the Box or whatever, right?
KFC may cost $20K.
I'm just saying, like the lifestyle. You're
gonna catch me in a bodega eating a chopped cheese. I'll be like, oh hell nah. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I just want to bring that up. I'm glad you were able to discuss that. Because I was longing to have that conversation, right?
I appreciate you.
All right, let me hit up the super chats. We got Smoothie Movie. He says play Mortal Kombat pre-order beta this weekend. Who's doing that? I didn't pre-order the game.
You want that game?
Who?
I do want that game.
You want it? You gonna pre-order it? You gonna do the beta?
No, I'm playing Madden. Mortal Kombat and Baldur's Gate are gonna be like the Black Friday buys.
All right.
So you can get like 3 for whatever. So that'll be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get Mortal Kombat because I want to focus back on Street Fighter. I want to
stay Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat good, though. Looks amazing. It does.
I can't stomach the fatalities though. I can't stomach it.
Okay, that's what you're doing. Yo, hey, don't laugh. He does Hallmark movies. He's all about that perfect world, man. He ain't about. Listen, the man left America. He left America. He left gun culture. He's in Canada. He got healthcare. He wants Christmas, winters, and find true love. He ain't about that violence no more. It's over. He found the better way. He found the better life.
Oh my God!
I'm just playing bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm jealous. You know what I'm saying? I want wake up to hot cocoa and stuff like that. When the biggest stress in your life is you forgot the brown sugar for the cookies. Yeah. That's the life I want to live.
My God, that's the life I want to live too.
When the biggest stresses in your life, like, oh my God, we need the cinnamon. All right, no, but shout out to Gemini J. He says celebrity AI porn is gonna be big. Oh shit, that would be crazy.
That's actually true. There's people already trying to do that. I got told they need about $35 million to invest in like robotic girls or something like that.
All right, let me say something. I think that would put me on a dark side because if this was 2003 and I get to see AI J-Lo, AI Selma Hayek 2003. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would bite. Listen. A man's got to know his limitations. I think I would have lost that fight. I would have been like, yep, AI is the way to go. I would have been like, yo, J-Dub, am I lying? What was?
You got people with some-
He left. Oh,
He made
J Dog.
drop.
Yeah. What was that? What was it? What was it? What was that movie? The vampire movie she was in.
Oh,
Salma Hayek.
yeah.
Oh, Dust Till Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn.
That's the dog. Antonio Banderas.
Yeah. AI porn with Selena version of J-Lo.
Yeah.
Yep. Listen, mark my words. It's coming. I give it another 5-10 years. It'll be.
EmpBruh, man, if you don't get your 0-39 losing ass out the damn chat and into the damn podcast and stuff like that, stop hating on Madden 24. Man, you got Madden 24 with 2020 posters. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What about this dry ass PS5 exclusive lineup for the next 18 months? You better hope Baldur's Gate don't take it, boy, because I'm gonna be talking shit to you. No shit.
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate could win.
Baldur's Gate came out. We'll talk about that. But anyway, but damn, AI porn, that's crazy. Jenna Hayes, she says, P-Rock, remember the Bayonetta 3 situation with voice actors claiming being underpaid? So now, listen, with Ramon getting us detailed, like, if that's your job, like, I honestly never looked at it as, man, $5,000 just to be the voice of Bayonetta? That's not bad. But then that might be your only job for the whole year. So $5,000 for 12 months, that ain't shit.
Well, here's the thing, Puerto Rock, with that is,
I get it.
Here's the thing. They pay you $5,000 to voice this video game, right? $5,000, one-time check. And you find out that video game went on to make $2 billion.
You'll be mad as hell.
You're gonna be like,
I'll be like this.
Like, if I would have get, but that's the risk, right? That's why
I would have been like, boy.
Your agent got to be a good negotiator. You got to be aware of all of this stuff. She should have been more aware of what was what.
Yeah, I'll be like, listen, I don't want cash. Nope. What I want is a percentage of just the sales.
Yeah, that's ultimately what they're gonna have to. That's what they could. That's what they have to. Because that's what the actors are doing.
Because that's the only. That's yeah. What? Go ahead.
It depends on the tier actor that you are, and if you have that kind of leverage. For instance, when I book a job, I'm at scale. I'm about to start getting to the point where I might try negotiating above scale, but generally speaking, I'm at scale. And
what does that mean? You're at scale.
Scale basically means that, for my tier, like say, a principal actor where like you get a certain number of lines in a script that if you cross over that, then you go into like, say, guest star or something like that. Okay. Well, scale means that you make like, let's just say like, what is it, $60 an hour or $80 an hour or something like that, right? But when you are a little bit of a bigger name, you can say, the agent can say, well, my actor makes, $4,000 a day. Mm-hmm. Versus like at my thing, well, up here we get what's called a buyout. I'm not sure. I don't know if SAG actors get that, but we get a buyout, which basically means they pay us 110% of our scale fee in lieu of residuals. So like for one day's work without overtime, I might get like say $3,000 net after my agent and taxes and everything like that. And then if they continue to show it after like say 3 years has gone by, then I'll get a residual check, which will be like maybe a couple $100. Oh. So that's how it works up here. Oh. The different unions are a little bit different.
Oh, so like for me, right? So like for me, if I try to be an actor and I'd be like, yo, let me get this job, they'd be like, yeah, you could be the guy in the background picking the oranges. I'm like, all right, so what I get? Then they'll be like, so I'll be like, so what am I getting paid? They'd be like, you could keep the oranges.
Well, if you're see, there's
the oranges, dog. Like, we need you to play a Mexican. Pick them goddamn oranges. I'll be like,
dude, they would straight up do that. Dude. They would straight up do that, regardless if you be Puerto Rican. They would hire you as a Mexican, even if you don't even look or sound Mexican or have the accent.
Yeah. So like, pick them guys. They'll be like, pick them goddamn oranges. All right, well, I'm getting paid. Yeah, the oranges you picking. You can take it home with you.
Because I was in.
They're plastic. They're not even real oranges. They're goddamn plastic.
That was an extra Seabiscuit, and all we got was pizza. They were like, "Oh, look, you got free pizza." That was it. It was being an extra because they filmed it out here at Keeneland. So
I'll be like, that's some shit right there. I'd be like, I could take home these plastic ass oranges. That's just cleanup. You ain't suckering me.
Well, real quick, Wopzilla in the chat, he's like, I'm finding it hard to be sympathetic. It sounds like they're balling to me. That $3,000 that I made, okay, the last production I was on, I made like $31-something hundred for one day's work. That was back in February. That was back in February.
Damn.
I just booked a job that I'm going to be filming in the next week or two. That's the stretch. So I made $3,000 in February, and I just booked something this month. I haven't booked anything since.
So really,
try stretching $3,000 over the course of a year.
So really, it's like
60 frame no lag money. That's 60 frame no lag.
Oh shit, man, motherfucker, you could just be on the podcast. You might as well start your own YouTube. No, you be a better. You might as well just start your own YouTube channel and make your own shit. Start your own production. You might as well start your own production on YouTube and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We could have a skit, in the mind of a, the mind, what I'm saying? Diary of a Madman. How I bought an Xbox. I guarantee you'll make a killing.
Look, everybody's doing that. Look at Shannon Sharp, right? He got his Club Shade podcast and stuff on. A lot of people, even if they work in the industry, they're trying to leverage YouTube and social media.
The Mighty Keith is probably making more. The Mighty Keith is probably making more than most actors right now.
Exactly. Hey, real quick. I
wouldn't doubt it at this point.
DR12 Evil sounds like he needs a new agent. We're on strike, dude. That's why there's not much filming right now. It's because we're on strike, which means unless it's a Canadian production up here, we can't work. So my agent has nothing to do with it, bro.
We can't even get the Last of Us season 2, man, until this shit is over.
I'll be mad as hell. I go on the extra and be like, yeah, you can pick them oranges. I'll be like, boy, I'll slap the shit out of you. How about that? I'll be mad as hell. I'll be like, the audacity, bro. They'll be like, you gotta give me a bigger roll. They'll be like, all right, we got a bigger roll. What? Go steal them hubcaps.
Yep.
Like, you racist motherfuckers, bro. God damn it. I'll take the hubcaps.
Somebody said Mexi Rock 77.
That's some crazy. Oh shit, this is terrible. All right, let me read that last super chat. We got EmpBruh Baron. He said, "Stop hating on Madden 24 and worry about this dry ass PS5 exclusive lineup for next 18 months." Listen, man, do people even play Madden on Xbox, or are they waiting for Game Pass when it comes out 7 months later? Come on, bro, cut it out. All right, but thank you for the education. So let's hit up the next topic. I removed the whole the Modern Warfare because that topic is trash. But I want to talk about this, right? So let me lead it into this. So Starfield's approaching, right? And there are gamers. You got trolls. I'm not gonna ignore that you have the trolls, the haters, all that shit. But you do have genuine gamers. They would like to see this game actually being played. And with Gamescom coming out, which is one of the biggest gaming events that we do have left, people are wondering why Microsoft ain't providing a playable version on the showroom floor. Now, there is some legit reasons for that. Number one, gamers have been seeing that a lot of games are launching in a bad state, right? Mm-hmm. The whole just trust us is wearing thin. There's very few people that has that level of trust anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So now we're back to a world where gamers want to see a demo, right? And we understand that, yes, it's an old build, but if an old build is playable and pretty good and running, then the newer build would be even better, right? So they just want some upfront, transparency on just how the game is, right? Especially with the price increase and all that. Hey, show us a demo. Put it out there. Microsoft and everybody saying this is the biggest game of the year, one of the most important games for the brand. So that way it could be like, you could say, lighten a match, as the first step on the road of consistent quality. Well, if it's that big, then put it out there. Be transparent, right? And this is what a lot of the actual gamers want to see. Now, of course, mixed in, you have the shit talkers. You have the J-dubs in there saying, oh, this game is coming in hot. I get it. But removing all the noise, there is some truth within the gamers that do have a valid reason on why they would like to see this game demo. They have concerns about Microsoft not being upfront. There's talk about we don't even know the review codes come out. There's a lot of things that makes gamers concerned. Well, apparently Parris has a issue with this. So let's hear what he has to say.
This whole Starfield not being playable at Gamescom has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and it goes into this whole culture that we're starting to see now in the creator space. I just call it grifting because it is a straight grift, if you ask me. Where let's say something outrageous, let's pump it up into something, let's stir up the fan base. Let me say something I don't even believe myself, but I'm gonna say it anyways because it's gonna drive engagement. Because we know negativity drives engagement. That's all this is. Bethesda's never had a demo for any of their games. Name me one. They've never done it. So it's not a shock. Like, it's funny that Pete Hines even had to finally come out and say something about the fact that Starfield hasn't, and I'm doing air quotes, gone gold. He's like, relax. We got some very talented people working on this. Starfield does it. Starfield is not a game that could demo. Regardless, they just gave you 45 minutes of it at the damn direct, and they're going to do something again at Gamescom. So you're going to see content from the game so that you can kind of make a somewhat educated guess if this is a game that you want to play and you want to pick up. Not to mention, the game comes out a week after Gamescom. There's no point to. Why would you take all? Look, what do we complain about with Bethesda for 20 years? Bethesda, right? Why would I take time and resources away from that development team to QA and squash bugs literally until the last minute until it comes out, so that they could go make a vertical slice so that the 200-something thousand people that's going to come through Gamescom can play for 10 minutes? What is that going to do? Nothing. So yeah, it is literally the dumbest, griftiest argument that I've seen. Not to mention, since we're going there, and I'll just get myself in trouble now, to see people bringing up they're not marketing Starfield enough. What do you want? Seriously, I'm being serious for a second. What more do you want? And I will point it back to, again, they gave you a 45-minute demo of the game. It is arguably the best long-form gaming preview I think we've ever seen from a production standpoint, right? They've given you that. They just came out with the animated shorts. We've obviously seen the controller, the headset that's coming out. We know Todd Howard traditionally does not like to do long-form marketing for his games. It is usually, I'm gonna show it to you, and then boom, it's out a few months later. That's exactly what they're doing right now. We go on the Steam charts. It is one of the most pre-ordered games on Steam right now. So there's definitely awareness of the game. What more do you want? And the hilarious part of it, and this is why I call it all a freaking grift. The hilarious part is the people complaining about the marketing. You already know about the game, so you're going to pick it up. Why are you worrying about other people? Worry about yourself. I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. It's one of the parts of what we do that just annoys I want to curse, but I won't. But it just annoys me. It absolutely annoys me because we're all adults here. We've all been doing this a long time. We know how this works. But yet now all of a sudden, conveniently, there's a quote unquote issue with it. And let's keep it a buck. These are people that are saying this because Xbox isn't their favorite brand or where they play games. And we know this is arguably the biggest new IP that Xbox has had since 2006 with Gears of War. You can argue that. This is a huge IP for them. So let's dwell in negativity. Let's make up negativity because it's made up. None of this is legitimate. Let's make up some negativity about it because we know this is going to drive engagement. See what you did, Danny? You got me ranting. This is why I was like, look what he did. He did this on purpose because he knew I was going to go off on this because it just annoys me so much that we can't have genuine conversations about games, that we have to dwell into the made up negativity of it versus talking about, like, we should be excited. Like, again, let's keep it a buck. Since you got me talking, I'm going to keep going. We should be excited. Like, there are legitimately people that are upset that I'm excited for Starfield. For a second, this.
All right. So let me go on my soapbox real quick, and then Extreme, I want you to go up first, right? And and we'll start, and then we'll work our way down, right? But let me go on my soapbox real quick, all right?
Yep.
If those words, that whole 4-minute spiel was done by Danny Pena, I would have not really had an issue. Especially the marketing. The marketing, I think that's just trolling, but it's true. Like, if Microsoft don't really want to spend money on marketing, good marketing, bad marketing doesn't really make much, because a great game's a great game. So yeah, you're right. In a serious conversation, it's just trolling. We're just talking shit. But for the most part, especially about the whole, demo, if Danny Pena, Godfrey, would have said that, all right, whatever. If that dude, Peter Toledo, Peter Rock, hey, hold on, that's kind of close. You, Puerto Rock, Peter Rock, I'm watching you, bro. I don't know who you are, but don't cross that line, bro. You're encroaching. You're encroaching on copyright infringement. Nah, I'm just bugging. But if he would have said that, whatever. But the audacity of Parris Lilly saying that boggles my mind. The audacity of this man saying that. As if he wasn't the one to come out and tell console gamers that Cyberpunk 2077 was running fine. Only for when the game came out, it was trash. Like, literally. It was so broken, people were refunding it across every platform. Sure, he made a video after the fact. Oh yeah, this game is really buggy, messy. Bro, too late. Because you got your yellow chair and people already bought the game. And when they played it on console, it was just a mess. While you said you played it and it was fine. The whole point of this mess is gamers no longer trust developers anymore. The trust is gone. That's what I think you miss. Oh, they just scripting, they're making an issue. No one cares about a production studio controlling their own demo. We seen that with Redfall. And then when IGN, a separate entity, got their hands on it and we seen the tape, we were like, whoa, this shit is coming in hot. This shit looks terrible. Parris does not realize, you would have thought that after the Cyberpunk 2020's debacle, he would have changed his complete outlook in gaming and not put himself just simply trusting anybody. But he's talking about people trying to get paid. No, you trying to get paid. Because you're still making the same mistake that you did the first time. You just want us to simply trust the process and not actually experience the process for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't want a vertical slice done by the very company selling it. Of course it's going to look great. You would be an idiot to do another Halo Infinite 2020 showcase. You're literally controlling the parameters. Gamers want to see for themselves before they purchase, because the credit of being good is diminishing. You're running out of credit. You ain't got A1 credit no more. The credit score of the gaming industry is in the 400s or 500s. We need proof. We need collateral. Right? It doesn't matter if a Bethesda game was never shown before, as a preview or as a demo build. No one gives a shit. You know what I'm saying? Because now, before, years ago, decades ago, games tend to be complete and better performing. Now it's accepted that every game gets a day one patch, or we're going to improve it, or don't worry, play Redfall, we'll eventually give you 60 frames, or we're not giving you split screen at launch. It's always something now. It's always something that now is to the point where it's almost normal not to get a complete game. It's almost normal to get the rest of the game later on. It's being normalized, and the gamers are tired of it. Right? So now you telling us, hey, play this game, whatever. Bethesda just got bitch slapped 3 months ago for Redfall. In fact, Parris, you literally have Spencer talking to you, apologizing. Oh, we're going to do better. Well, if he wants to prove to the gamers that you're really doing better, then be transparent. And what better way to be transparent to say, hey, gamers, I know we have lost faith. I know we screwed up. Hey, we got a demo of Starfield for you to play so you can see for yourself that we're serious about giving you the better quality of games that you expect from us. But nope, once again, just have blind faith. Trust the process. And then if the game, after people already, because once you buy it, sure, you got Game Pass, right? So those guys, I would say, I'll be honest, those guys are lucky. The Game Pass gamers, they're actually lucky in this. right? Because literally, it's on Game Pass. They're paying $15 anyway to play a whole bunch of games. If Starfield comes out broken or hot, whatever, no loss to them. But for the gamers who genuinely do buy their games, and they buy it day one, if that shit's broken like Cyberpunk, it's too late. You paid your $70. You're just gonna have to either try to refund it, or you're just gonna have to wait for patches and God knows how long. You see what I'm saying? And that's not right. Especially if you're trying to advertise, hey, we're getting better, we're gonna do right by you, we're gonna improve the quality. Well, the number one path to quality is transparency, right? So now you're trying to shame gamers because, God forbid, you don't have absolute faith in the process, even though you got screwed over time and time again. Wow, gee, shame on you gamers. Y'all grifting. When in reality, he's benefiting from all this defense more than anybody. He gets to go on the Xbox shows. He gets to interview Xbox guys. He gets to do all this stuff. The gamers, they just want to see a game that they're willing to pay $70. Hell, he probably gets a free copy. So he doesn't lose a goddamn thing. His ass was probably going to be at Gamescom with a flight ticket paid by Microsoft to talk about one of the things. So yeah, it's easy for you to talk your shit. You don't lose nothing. We already seen how you roll with Cyberpunk. So God forbid the gamers just ask something simple. Actually give a live demonstration of the game, not this behind the scenes shit, because we already seen that what happened. You know,
and not it running on a PC, because Cyberpunk was running on PC that they showed, and it looked good and it played good. But when it came to the consoles, look how that turned out.
We just gave you a 45-minute vertical slice, on a goddamn overclock 4090 with 128 gigs of fucking RAM. And there's probably you probably don't even have Microsoft Office installed in that thing. Literally, the only thing on that PC is literally installed is just Starfield. Every single resource for that one game. You don't even have antivirus on that sucker. Nothing.
And the 45 minutes of footage that they showed was chopped up so much to show you what they wanted to show you and not actual gameplay. Somebody controlling it, going here, going there. If they would have did that, you probably wouldn't have had any problems.
Yeah.
Well,
and
my whole thing.
Hold on. And I get
after, like you said, after Redfall, just literally a couple of months ago, we had Redfall debacle. They flew people out to see the game. It was playing on a PC. Everybody said, yeah, it was great, running great, everything looking great. It's going to be a banger.
Yo, listen, Ramon, you're my brother. But my man defended Redfall, and the very next day, he texts me like, God damn it, Puerto Rock. Why didn't I just shut the... Ramon, why am I lying, though? Yo, the next day, Ramon's in the DM like, God damn it, Puerto Rock, I defended this piece of shit yesterday. I was like, it looks like it could probably be fun. I'm gonna wait and see. It looks like it could probably be fun. And then that shit dropped right after the show, and I was like, okay, they got me looking crazy out here. Yeah, I was not very happy. He vented. It looked like AI typing a book report. He was mad, bro. It was just crazy, bro. I'm like, this is wild and stuff, right? So I get it. We got to stop. When we have serious conversations or we're actually expecting, we have to filter out the fanboys. I'll be the first to say it. Yes, I fanboy, I talk shit. But when it comes time to actually hold these companies accountable, you got to turn it off and just be real. Microsoft is coming off of off a bad game, bad reputation. If you're serious about quality, if you're serious about doing better for the consumers, you got to stop all this hidden tactic shit. Sure, Bethesda never did this before, but it's a new age now. You got to, clear your name. So if you're out there going on podcasts, we're going to do better, go do better. All right, so then do better. Be transparent. Show the content to the gamers. Don't keep things hidden. Don't give review codes to the last second. Don't do none of this bullshit. If you are proud of your work, back it up and show it. They're the ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the bigger question, why do you think certain people or a certain fan base continues to let a company do this to them over and over and over, not show the game, hide it, show them the PC only version, and then when the console version comes out, then the people apologizing to them? Why do you think they're so accepting of that? This is not just one game. This is the last 15 years worth of Xbox games. Phil
I'm
Spencer came out and apologized for these things.
Well, so I'm gonna answer your question, but let me get Extreme's thought because I did promise he will put in his thing. What do you think about this, Extreme?
Thank you. Hey, listen. You guys have already pretty much spoiled the surprise. You've already, you've given the sauce away. You've told them the secret ingredients. So I'm not gonna harp on the things you already said. Let's talk about this whole nonsense about how this game is not demo worthy. Okay, because that's the one bit that I really take issue with. All right, let's get into it.
Okay.
Number one, I understand that Starfield is a big game because that is the thing that, like, listen, if you only had 15 minutes, you wouldn't even get out of character creation. True. So set a character. Set a character for me. Just go ahead, give me a max level character. Okay? Put it in any level of the fucking game. I don't care what it is. Whatever mission you have ready already, that is like from A to B, even if there are glitches along the way. Go ahead and put me in that place and be like, okay, your target is Captain Prime Jack. Go ahead, kill Captain Prime Jack. There are 17 different ways you can do it. See how many ways you can kill him. Okay? And then if you do it, the person behind you might do something else. Afterwards, you guys discuss amongst yourself how you did it. How hard is that to do? Matter of fact, they're like, oh, why should we do it for the 200,000 people at Gamescom? Don't do it for the 200,000 people at Gamescom. Have your little theater presentation, then put it out on Xbox as a free demo. Tell them that it is alpha footage and that it is not representative of the final gameplay because it will be an old build or whatever. Give them a max level character so that people can experience the game, because this whole nonsense that they have about, oh, we've seen 45 minutes of gameplay, like J-Dub said, it's been cut up, chopped up, edited to high heavens, and that's why I'm telling you guys that this game will be garbage. Because if you believe in your game, you show your game. You know, I've had so many people be like, oh, WeForge was saying, oh, Bethesda never does this. They never does this. What the freak do people want? Okay. No, just one last thing. How about they do it now? How about if they are proud of what they have, they actually show what they have? When Horizon Forbidden West came out, they showed you a mission that was not in the game, by the way. That mission that they showed in the demo, in the state of play, that doesn't happen in the game. The area exists in the game, but that one particular thing, completely fictional. I was playing the entire game waiting for that moment to happen. Like, spoiler alert, guys, Erwin never gets captured. You never have to rescue him. I was like, yo, that would have been like a really good story bit. I actually really missed that. But the point is this. They showed you one mission pretty much from start to finish. Okay? So it doesn't even have to be something in the game. It has to be something that is continuous, where you can see the game being played moment after moment after moment until you reach a conclusion. But Bethesda hasn't done that. So, excuse me, but between that and the fact that the game just looks like garbage and it's not fun, I say that is garbage. J-Dub, go ahead.
I just want to say this one thing. I looked it up right now. Todd Howard said the Starfield length is around 30 to 40 hours for the main story and the quest. And of course, there's optional content that you can kind of play through. So let's say you get 100 hours out of the game. Then I went to look up God of War. What was its playtime? Its playtime was around 26 hours. And if you were to 100 plat, do every single thing, every side quest in that game, you're going to get about 53 to 60 hours in the game. So with 30 to 40 hours being the main story and quest, this game was already delayed a year or longer. The game is basically done. Why can't you just let people play the game while they're there? It doesn't have to be a demo. They don't have to cut a slice. Just let them put a couple of PCs out there, put a couple of consoles, just let them play it. Even if somebody sits there for 30, 40 minutes, who cares? You're not hurting anything. But right now, the game launches literally in 2 weeks, and nobody's seen this thing running on a Series S or a Series X. I think that's a big problem. Some people may have faith in it, but your last game that you released was Fallout 76, which was one of the lowest scoring games of last generation. Plus, the last Microsoft first-party game to release was one of the lowest. It is the lowest Metacritic scoring game this generation thus far. I don't think regular gamers should be yelled at or called grifters because they're asking, hey, can we at least get some hand on or see this thing running before we make our judgment on it, before you guys go, hyping this thing up. So, I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Let me hit out the super chat. We got the Claymores. IGN Rook gameplay for Redfall destroyed the game's hype. Maybe they're scared uncut gameplay will kill Starfield hype as well. That's the thing. If the game is shaky, it would kill the hype, right? And Extreme said it perfectly, right? You can literally, the game is theirs. They have debug kits. They can literally create a scenario where you play a story mission, you already unlock abilities. Like when we do the demo, we're not asking a demo to start the game fresh and experience the game. No, you can just pick a specific mission, make the character level 47, already do the attributes, characteristics, weapons, guns, whatever, and stuff like that, and have them play one mission that you have to complete, because the game has compartmentalized many different missions. Well, give them a build that is just one specific mission and just play this mission. The main thing people are going to ask is the actual gameplay. That's what people really want to know. How the gameplay really feels. And is it really locked at 30? Is the controls good? Is the action good? When you start actually interacting with all these characters fighting and shooting, is it stable? That's really what they want to know. They don't want to see weird shit that be like, man, this is an unplayable mess and stuff like that. So you can lock a build, level, cap, all that stuff, load it up, and then the people play it, and then that's it. They did it with Final Fantasy 16. You literally played a certain level, and then it ended. You can actually cut a specific level. Sure, it is not representative of the whole game. We know that it's an RPG. But there is certain things people want to play. There's certain things people want to feel. More importantly, people want to know how well the game runs. Because the fact that you cannot provide performance options, that is concerning. That is probably the number one concern. Like, why can't you really have this game with an option to play 60 frames? Like, what is it about this game that you really can't give gamers, here's 60 FPS at 1080p?
That's asinine, Puerto Rock. Stop asking that question. We got my man Baron.
You damn right that's asinine. It took me a while to figure out how to get in this mode.
Listen, let me tell you something. God damn it. Listen,
but I got tired of hearing that bullshit. I got tired of hearing it.
I got one question. I got just one simple question. Right? Who has more losses, you or Xbox?
Listen, that's neither here or there, but I ain't been here in a minute, but my ears are bleeding because all this bullshit about Starfield. Y'all need to chill the hell out, man. Y'all need to stop it.
Listen,
y'all been doing this for like 5+ years now. It's time to retire. Y'all got a whole pension plan and IRA off of just hating off of Xbox over the last 10 years. It's like y'all need to go ahead and cut it out, bro.
Listen,
just go ahead and cut it out.
This is the problem, EmpBruh. You just don't understand winning. I mean, look, EmpBruh. Look. Let's look. Nintendo is like your only saving grace, right? Because they win, which is what blows my mind. Which blows my mind. Like, you're literally a Nintendo dude, so you see what winning looks like. But then something happens when you look at Xbox. I don't know what dimensional portal you go through, but you completely forget what it takes to win. Like, you just look at Nintendo, what it takes to win, and then when you see Xbox,
I'm gonna tell you what it takes to. I'm gonna tell you.
Listen, it's like this.
I'm gonna tell you. Listen.
This is the best way. This is the best way I can put it. Xbox is the Atlanta Falcons of gaming.
I mean that would have been funny a couple years ago, but they're probably not good this year, so that's not a good point.
Listen, even when you win, you're gonna end up losing. Like, yo, it's like,
bring up that old shit, man.
They'd be like, yo, what's the score? Atlanta's up 42-0 in the fourth. Oh, they're about to lose.
Yo, hey, don't bring that back up ever again. We still suffering from that. But here's the other thing I had to come in here, man. Look, I ain't battled with J-Dub in like 2 years or something like that. So I thought it would be fun. That's number one, because he's asinine as hell. He rides Sony cock so hard, it's ridiculous. He don't hop off from nothing. That boy don't even take a break. He don't take a water break. He don't take a Gatorade break. He on that thing 24/7. But let me tell you. Let me tell you this. Let me be real with you about Starfield. everybody that complained has a. They are correct. They are correct in their complaints. Microsoft has not been doing a good job. We all know that. This is why they bought all those damn studios. This is why they bought Activision, and a lot of people, the company that you like, are trying to stop them from buying Activision, but it ain't gonna work. So they know they've been doing wrong, but they're trying to fix that.
I didn't try to stop them. You say no. I saw that. No, you inserted that you. No. Hey, I saw that quick shot. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I heard that. I heard they say you try to stop. I ain't trying to stop shit. Just put it out there.
But yeah, let's get to this, man. Let's get to this, man. Look, let's stop hating on Starfield, all right? This is the game I'm solely reason that I'm going to buy Xbox Series X.
Oh, don't do it, man. Don't do it, bro.
Yeah, I am going to
get a PC, man. Get a PC, man. Get a PC, man.
I am a console warrior. I will never be on a PC.
No,
that's for another conversation.
Listen, Rambo, it's time to go.
Listen, the reason I'm getting a PC.
Listen, you need to stop worrying.
No, it's not going to happen.
You need to get your listen. Submit your VA claim. Go to your veteran Rambo. It's time to go home, Rambo. This shit's over, man. You need to file your VA disability claim and get them checks. War was rough on you, bro. You've been concussed.
Listen, everybody has a valid gripe. You know what I mean? Even though J-Dub is full of shit half of the time, the gripes about Microsoft, they're valid. But at the same time, let's not try to compare all these developers together like they're all the same. They're not. We all know Insomniac is not Naughty Dog. We know Santa Monica is not like any other Sony developer. They're not the same. So don't compare the Bethesda to what happened with Redfall. That's totally two different things. We know that is not going to happen. We at least have that much trust. That's not going to happen.
No, we don't. What do you mean?
But what happened last time with the last Fallout game, that left a bad taste in our mouths. We understand that. We know that. But here's the point. Here's the point I want to make. Regardless of how you feel, there's just really no way you can fabricate 45 minutes of gameplay footage. That's just ridiculous. I thought that was the most hilarious thing y'all ever said. I was actually shocked they showed that much. That's what instilled the confidence back.
Cyberpunk 77 just happened. Don't lie to us. They have way more than 45 minutes of fabricated footage.
Like I was saying, let's stop putting developers together like they all developed the same game. That's not Bethesda. So, with that being said, is one thing that really made me get more confidence in this game. It's something that, they pulled out the Nintendo playbook. This game was supposed to release last year, and everybody had their jokes when it got delayed. And I had my jokes too. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, they delayed this game. Why? And the reason they delayed the game is what was shocking to me. They delayed the game a whole year just to polish the game. I ain't never heard of Bethesda doing that ever in their career. So that right there told me they really learned from their lesson, and they really are trying to make this game as stellar as possible.
No, hold up.
Listen. Like you just said, in today's climate where people just release games and they try to fix it on day one patches, giving you half of the damn game, you don't hear nobody delaying the game unless they're Nintendo. You don't hear nobody delaying the game a whole year just for polish.
I can't take this. Are you serious? Are you serious?
PlayStation does. Name me third-party developers that have delayed the game a year to polish the game.
Halo Infinite. Why
no, it said third party.
Infinite. Well, I don't need to go third party. Halo Infinite. Let's go. What did they polish?
He did say what did
they polish? Oh, sorry. Redfall also delayed. What did they polish?
Yep.
Redfall was delayed. Redfall was delayed. It was.
Isn't that from your Bethesda? From your Bethesda group?
Redfall was delayed to improve the game.
Anthem.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
What was polished?
Anthem was also delayed.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's right. It fucking means nothing.
No. What he's saying is
nothing.
No. He gave you examples of games that got delayed.
No. Let me finish what you just said, because that's just out of bullshit. No. Let me finish. I wasn't done. Let me finish.
You are done.
This whole nonsense.
Group all developers in one bowl. You can't do that.
This whole nonsense.
No matter how mad you do it, you cannot do that.
Listen. This whole nonsense that you just said, that they came out and they were like, oh my god, guys, we're going to punish the game. That means nothing. Nada. Zero. Zilch.
To you, it doesn't.
Nothing. It means less than nothing.
To you, it doesn't mean nothing.
Listen, it can mean the go to you, but the rest of us are not going to let you just come up here and lie to us.
Another developer that has nothing to do with the game.
Plenty of developers have come out and be like, "Oh, we're just polishing the game." Matter of fact,
that's fine. But we're talking about Bethesda. That's what we're talking about.
Bethesda Associated Studios.
So it's like you have to just take what they are giving you and not try to take it from somebody else's pool.
Okay,
like
fine.
Redfall has nothing to do with nobody.
Halo Infinite isn't that from the same pool? Isn't that an Xbox published?
That ain't Bethesda's game.
Studios.
Why does that?
Okay, Redfall isn't that Bethesda Associated Studios?
That's like me faulting, Nintendo EAD for a Zelda developed game. That's retarded. They're not the developers of the game.
It's good. Were they polishing it the whole time?
What does that have to do with Bethesda's game?
Fallout 76.
76 is Bethesda. Okay, that was that.
Isn't that?
Yeah, I understand.
Like do you get blinders on? Like do you get blinders and you forget who makes what?
I just acknowledge what happened with Fallout 76.
No. Listen. Let me address your comments. Let me address because you're trying to shift. You're trying to shift it around. Let me just address it. Let's break it down. You literally said, "I've never heard of a developer that said we're gonna come out for a whole year," as you put it. And to polish the game, and then I named you several games that had said exactly that. The original Division, same thing. Watch Dogs, so many times.
You don't bring up Ubisoft in the Bethesda conversation.
I'm gonna bring up every single developer that ever said this because what you just said was bullshit. And I'm proving to you using Xbox Studios. Hey, you know what? Matter of fact, why do I even let me attack PlayStation for one. What was that fucking dog shit game that they released? Destruction All Stars. Same exact shit. Garbage. Drive Club. Garbage. Like, it doesn't matter which side of the fence you want, whether that's third party, first party Xbox, first party PlayStation. Plenty of developers have lied to us telling us that they came out to polish the game, and here you are, it meant fucking nothing. Listen.
Here's my question for you, since all developers are equal in your brain. So, here's my question for you. Do you expect the same quality from maybe a God of War studio, or the same quality from a God of War studio that you would expect from a smaller studio from Sony?
Listen. First of all, if you're going to set up a straw man argument, at least make it an entertaining one. Okay, I never said that all these developers are equal. I said that what you said is patently false and can be proven to be false. Now, accept that what you said was false, so that we can have a real conversation.
It can't be false if it doesn't apply to everybody you're talking to.
So the fact that I named just several games that came from ZeniMax Studios,
they're all not the same developer. What part of that you're not understanding?
Okay, fine. So the fact that Fallout 76 happened, that also doesn't count. That's from like the B team, right?
It's Fallout 76. I acknowledge Fallout 76.
All right, cool.
I acknowledge that it was a piece of trash. What more do you want me to say for that?
You acknowledge that what you said was false, so we can move on.
No, I acknowledge that Fallout 76 was trash. Everything else that has nothing to do with that
falsifies what you just said.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
it doesn't, because they operated differently after the Fallout 76 debacle. So what are you talking about?
They operate differently. Are you there in the boardroom? Did you see like some kind of operational change that we don't know about? Please provide proof that they've learned their lesson, as you say, and they operate differently.
Like I was saying, the way they have presented Starfield has been completely different from the last game they have made.
No. You come up with a statement that said they operate differently.
Exactly what
now you're saying the way they're presenting. Which one is it? Which one are you arguing?
What are you talking about?
You say they operate differently. Prove to me that they do. That's all I'm asking.
I'm sitting up here. What the hell you got on your face? I just realized that shit.
Why would I get in my feelings? I'm just offended by your presence because what you're saying is a lie. And I just hate being lied to when I have the option to speak. Speak to me and prove to me that you're not lying.
Listen, you just have this negative connotation about this game and you want to believe
it. I think the game is garbage. It's not a connotation. It's an affirmation. It's a confirmation. It's a statement. It's a fucking declaration. So if you're going to go at me because I tell you that the game is garbage, at least be accurate in your assessment of what my feelings are.
If you believe the game is going to be garbage, that's fine with you.
Absolutely going to be
I'm not here to convince you otherwise because you already got your mind made up.
You shouldn't. You just shouldn't lie to me when you're trying to argue otherwise.
Everything we have seen and the way they have been moving says otherwise.
Everything.
And I believe the game is going to be great.
Besides the fact that they have delayed the game because we already destroyed that argument.
I think everything we have seen out of this game looks pretty good. There's nothing that I've seen out this game that looks bad.
Okay, if there is nothing that you have seen at the game that looks bad to you, Jada, don't go after those things because then he's going to tell you that those things don't matter.
Let's talk about that for a minute because I think another game that's coming out got confirmed to be 30 frames per second.
Wait, didn't you say we shouldn't look to other games? We shouldn't look to people besides Bethesda when we're talking about this game? Why we looking
y'all gotta realize? I think y'all gotta realize that.
No, EmpBruh. When I was naming Anthem, you say don't look at anybody besides Bethesda. So why are you trying to now point to another game?
That's a console performance. This is a console performance argument.
So in console performance, we can look to other games, but in developer to
because it's the performance of the presentation, console.
We can't. Okay, fair enough. So we can look to other games, yeah.
Anyway, Jada, like I was saying. I think y'all need to realize that performance option that you see now is probably what's going to be the norm until a couple of more years, unless it's first party.
Isn't this first party?
Unless it's first party. I mean, very limited ones. I think.
No.
I think. What? Shit.
Yeah. Take your time. It's all right. We're all waiting.
I could have sworn there was one first party game on PlayStation that does run at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, there's a lot more than one. No, Jay, don't help him. It's okay. Let him trip on his own. Go ahead.
He still got his Nintendo Labo on.
What was that one game on PlayStation that was at 60? It's okay. Just pick any of them. Just code it down. You might hit one. Go ahead. Yes, Horizon is one of them. So
okay, I thought Horizon was one.
Yeah, okay. What's your point then?
The point is that even though Horizon is on the PS5, there are other games that are coming out that ain't hitting that performance level. It really has to do with people getting used to these consoles.
Name one. You say specifically first party. Name one.
The one y'all gonna talk about today, Lords of the Fallen. Isn't that running on Unreal Engine 5?
Is that first party? Okay, not first party. Name it first party.
I know that's not first party. I'm saying
You said unless it's from first party.
Unless it's from first party.
Okay, good. So let's talk about first party. Name a first party PlayStation game.
First party PlayStation game that doesn't have all the stuff. That doesn't have.
Okay, let me rephrase it again because y'all obviously ain't listening. Yeah. Unless it's a first party game, the performance that you see is probably what you're going to get.
Okay,
which is what Lord of the Fallen is giving you.
Since Starfield is a first party game, let's keep it exclusively to first party games. So now, tell me, why is this excused?
For the size of Starfield, I wasn't expecting it to be 60 frames, to be honest with you.
Okay, so for the size of Starfield, what did you expect?
What they told us. Exactly the performance they told us. I expected.
Okay, what did they tell you? What? So you expected what they told you, which means you didn't expect. You just accepted. That's what expecting. Expecting means that you expect something to happen before you're told what is going to happen. That's what expectation is.
Talk to that brother.
You acquiesced. That's acquiescence, like a little bitch. They told you that it was going to be 30 frames, and now you changed your mind around to accept 30 frames, and now you're going back and say, "I expected 30 frames."
Well, here's the thing about it. To you, that's a bigger deal. To somebody like me, it's not that big of a deal.
It's all right. We are not all little bitches. I understand.
Bitches ain't got nothing to do
with it. Listen. Here's the thing. The thing is, words have definitions, and those definitions are meant to have meaning. If you're saying that I expected something to happen, it was an expectation, that means that you had a certain standard that you were holding before you were told what you were going to get. If you now say, I expected what they told me, that's not an expectation. That's an acquiescence. You've acquiesced to what they told you. You've accepted what they told you. So don't say that you were expecting. Say that you're accepting.
No,
so that we know that you have no standards.
That's the difference.
And then you accept whatever standard they set for you.
No, that's not true.
Okay, what was the standard for Starfield before they said anything about performance? What were you holding as a standard?
I don't know what the standard was going to be. So that's
okay. So you had no standards. That's fine.
No, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. When it comes to the 60 frame and 30 frame argument, y'all really blow it way out of proportion than it really needs to be. I understand that a lot of people that are used to playing on PC and they come back to console, they can't handle it. But these guys that's been on console forever and ever and ever, acting like this is such a detrimental thing, it's not reality. We can go through and look at all the sales of these games that come out, and a lot of them are 30 frames per second games, which tells you that the masses really do not care about this argument that y'all continue to beat the wall.
Okay.
So when you say I'm expecting less because I'm a bitch, I'm like, no, I think that's
you expected nothing. Not less. You expected nothing.
For me to say that I'm a bitch because I was expecting nothing, it's like, no, I think other parts of the game are more important to me.
Okay.
And
first of all, I just want to just make one. I have a few things to clear up. Number one, you brought up the 30 frames day and the performance thing. I didn't. Number two, you're the one that said that you had expectations, and I asked you to clarify those expectations, and then you said that you had none, which is not exactly what you said before. I just want the English language to be respected. Listen, I was colonized for this language, so I may as well pay attention to the words that they use. Okay. Number three, quite simply, I'm not asking the masses whether they care about 30 or 60 frames. I'm asking you. Okay, I'm talking to
you. So what else do you want?
You haven't answered. You didn't tell me what your expectations were.
I told you I expected it to be 30 frames per second. I wouldn't expect it to be 60 frames per second.
You told me that you expected what they told you. Which one is it?
I told you I expected the game to be 30 frames per second.
Okay.
Before they
so since you accept 30 frames per second, tell me why it is that you accept it.
Okay. Because it does not fucking at the end of the day, it does not fucking matter. But you know
if it's something that doesn't matter, why do you have any expectations around it if it doesn't matter?
We never had any expectations around it, it doesn't matter.
The chat said he whooping your ass, Baron.
Fair enough. You know what? Let's just leave that, because again, that's the second thing that we don't even. I apologize for what I just did to you. Now, what is a reason for you, that this game is actually worth buying an entire console for?
Oh, that's easy. It's an open world game. It's giving us a new atmosphere that hasn't really been explored on this scale before. People have tried it before, but not.
Sorry. What did you say?
Are you gonna let me answer or what?
No, I actually didn't hear you.
Okay. I think it's going to give us a bigger scale of a space game that we never had before. And plus, everything I've seen that looks pretty beautiful. I like the look of Starfield. I like the options. I like the depth. I like how they did with the space combat, because I didn't even think this game was going to have space combat, and they put that in there. I like all the customization options they showed us. I think this is going to be a good RPG game, and I'm ready to play it.
Listen, the only thing valid that you said there is that this is an RPG game, Because the thing is, everything else that you said is done better in No Man's Sky.
Oh, I'm done.
The only thing that is not done better is the RPG system. So fair enough. Pardon?
You don't bring No Man's Sky?
So your mic is actually.
You gonna bring up No Man's Lie? That's what you're gonna bring up.
I'm gonna bring up No Man's Sky.
The game that was definitely not what it was built to be when it first came out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would.
That's what we're talking about. We're gonna go there.
Do you want to go there? Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Unbelievable.
Let me hit up two super chats real quick, right? We got JD Gamer. He does, and I agree with JD, and I think this is the hard, and I don't think it's just Xbox Bethesda, but I agree with JD Gamer, but I think it's expansive to almost the industry. JD Gamer, thank you super chat. He says the problem with both arguments is that Xbox Bethesda has been inconsistent with its delivery of quality games, though it's better than before. And Metro Knight's out here saying, got him, we fucking got him, right? Now, so let me make my point. I think the point is just this. So, got it. We got fanboys. We got the console war culture. If we swipe all those guys out, the Sony ponies, the Xbots, the concubines, the Nintendo sexual deviants that, they try to groom children. If we get rid of all of y'all and just keep it at its, you know what I'm saying? Hey, have you seen a Super Smash Brothers Brawl? Boy, y'all terrible. Y'all going after kids and that shit. That's it, boy.
You gotta
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Listen. So you can't apply that to Nintendo.
Listen, let me tell you something, dude. If your kid wants to be part of a Super Smash Brothers, they call them Super Smash Bros for a reason. They out here smash. You know, I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
How your kids, how your wives when you go to how your kids, how your wives when you go into the tournaments, bro. The Smash Bros. The Smash Bros. Yo, but here's the thing, right? Across the industry, and I'm glad people mentioned Cyberpunk, right? Because Cyberpunk was a bad launch on consoles, but these are the makers of The Witcher, and Witcher's a fantastic franchise. In fact, before Cyberpunk, they had all the clout because their DLC is actual whole games in of themselves at a great price. They gave away so much content for free. They were like, CD Projekt Red was like the darling of gaming. Everybody's like, this is why a developer should emulate to, and a publisher. This is it. Come out with a great quality game, support the quality game with true great content that's just as big as other games, and just give a lot of stuff away. And then, Cyberpunk came out, and everybody's like, and that's what made it shocking, because everybody's like, how the hell did this happen, bro? You're talking about CD Projekt Red, right? So anybody could screw up any point, right? And I think, while I understand your point, Baron, as saying don't hold them individually, the whole point is you have to hold the whole industry. Like, either you hold everyone accountable, to include Sony. That's why earlier in the podcast, I'm not saying much, but I'm keeping my eye out on Sony Spider-Man. If they don't give me that VR high frame rate, I'm gonna flip out. It is what it is. Look. But hold up.
I thought that game was already confirmed to be 30.
But what? What happened?
I thought that game was already confirmed to be 30 frames.
No. This is so here's the thing. No. Wait. No, it is 30. Listen, it's not the fact that the game.
That somewhere.
Listen. It's not the fact that the game is like right now, the basic mode, you're gonna have 4K 30. That's not the issue. The issue of Starfield is not being 4K 30 when it first showed. It's that the issue is, why can't you also not provide a performance option and have us play the game, let's say 1080p 60? Some people will play the game at 1080p 60. They will have no problem, because I've seen it. That's the problem. The problem is these consoles.
I think that's a valid argument.
Yeah.
But my situation is, with that, Starfield is a way bigger game, way more demanding game than Spider-Man.
So let me ask you this: what makes the game? And I'm being an honest question. From what we've seen, right? Because we haven't played the game. Maybe the game is bigger. Everybody's talking about this game as if they already played it. No. What makes it bigger than, let's say, Horizon Forbidden West? Because that game is huge. You can walk the entire map without loading. It's huge. You fly. That's a good example. From what we've seen, and I'm just talking about what we've seen, I haven't seen anything much. I mean, with my own eyes, that makes this game bigger than Horizon Forbidden West. Now, granted, I understand there's planets all over, 900 planets. I got it. But all those planets aren't loaded at one time. You're gonna get loading. You're gonna leave one area, and then it's going to load, and it's going to drop off assets. So you're not going to get 50 million planets all active at the same time. So I understand, though. You know what I'm saying? I understand, like, it's 1,000 planets. It's not like they loaded every single planet in one swoop. They're not doing that.
Well, I got you. We do not know how seamless it is. That's a good question. You know what I mean? But... we just gotta wait and see on that. When it came to a game like Tears of the Kingdom, I didn't expect the open worlds to be seamless as they are. Yeah. You go from the sky to land to the depths seamlessly. Yeah. So that was something like that is just crazy. So we don't really know that aspect. You will never know that aspect until you get in the game in your hand. You didn't know that about Horizon until you got the game in your hand.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, but you make a good point. But everybody's making promises about Starfield as an excuse. But right now, from looking at it, I don't see anything that makes me say you can't run this game at 60 frames at 1080p. I don't see anything on there. Like, even from the graphics isn't on the level of Horizon Forbidden West. Forbidden West graphics is insane. So I'm not bashing the game. I'm just saying if they could get Horizon Forbidden West at 60 frames performance option, I don't see anything from Starfield that's prevented it from being 60 frames as well. And what's going to be crazy, you know the PC gamers, everybody knows there's going to be PC gamers that saying, hey, I got this game to run at 1080p 60 and I'm running it on a 2050 card. You know they're going to do that. And that's what blows my mind, because you know PC gamers, they're going to test this theory out with minimum specs. You know, it's going to be crazy if you have like a 2050 or 2040 and they got it to run at 1080p 60. Then they're going to be like, the Xbox Series S can't perform at a 2050 level? That's what blows my mind. I'm like, something's got to be wrong.
Well, it's a lot of processes that go into having a game, open world game run at 30 or 60 frames per second. So,
you gotta let me, like,
hold on, let him say. Let him say his thing.
No, I'm saying Horizon is a great example. I'm not going to diss the game at all. You know what I mean? But we don't know the level of interactivity this game is going to have. We don't know how much of the game is seamless. It's just certain things like that. Or they could have just locked it because they probably wasn't confident that the game will be able to perform consistently at 60 frames per second. That could be also a thing. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is really an argument for the fanboys that are on the internet. Because everybody else really don't give a fuck.
Can I have an argument?
No, let me get him with that real quick. Let me get him with that, right? Here's the thing. Yes, it can be a fanboy argument, right? And I'm not gonna lie that. But let's remove that, right? We pay $500 consoles, right? And people, like real people, I'm not talking about the fanboys like Cole Eastwood or whatever, like real people said, hey, they got features, it has this capability, it has all this stuff, right? One brand is actually delivering, and it's not just to be a Sony pony, whatever. They're not only providing these 60 frames options, but when they finally got VR and you saw it, PlayStation got bashed for not having VR at launch, right? We had to wait like a year and a half, whatever, and people ridiculed it. But when they finally did get VR, Sony says, yo, we're going to take it to another level. Like, for example, Spider-Man, right? Some of these games, they added updates to the games to where now you can have performance modes using VR and high frame rate. Before I show God of War as an example, you understand? So Sony's taking performance modes to a step further. I'm not even seeing that from Xbox. Granted. Let's say, for example, default mode, whatever, you can only get 30 frames, right? Dynamic 4K. But Xbox will say before you use this as VR and high frame rate mode, you guys specifically that have those TVs, because we advertise these capabilities, you guys can play it at unlock 30 with VR and high frame rate mode, and let Jesus take the wheel. Because Sony did that. They unlocked the frames for God of War, they unlocked the frames for Ratchet and Clank, for Spider-Man, and they said Jesus take the wheel, and it worked. They run great. Microsoft won't even do that, and I don't understand that.
Well, I think it's two things in the play here that a lot of people not thinking about, because it's been a couple of years now since these consoles came out. Number one, I think people need to realize that development is way longer now than it used to be. That's number one. Number two, next gen, and I'm mad we're still calling it next gen. Next gen, current gen development kind of just now starting kicking off, because we're starting to now see games not being released on the PS4 and the Xbox One. So, I mean, this is the first year Madden is going to be next gen only. This is the first year 2K is actually going to leave the old systems behind. So these people are really now starting to really use the power of the system. And sometimes y'all really want these developers to be out the gate and give you the best, when we all know the best games that harness the power of the system always come out mid-gen or toward the end. It's always been like that, because they got time to learn the damn system and the architecture and the engineering of it. It's always been that way.
Let me ask you this question. Let me do this super chat. It's JD Gamer. Xbox Bethesda has been responsible for many quality games since 2018. Deathloop, Psychonauts 2, Forza 5, Wasteland 3, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded. Well, I don't know about Grounded. What's GWT? What's GWT?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right. I guess I'm going to be honest. If you look at that list, maybe Forza, I don't know. Like some of the games,
actually, Ghostwire Tokyo on PlayStation had more performance options.
Yeah, if I looked at that list, I would just say that's generally a good list. I'm not gonna, that's generally decently a all around good list, right? But in that line, I would not say that's a wow factor, especially when you're trying to set the example of what these consoles can do, right? Now, I get what you're saying, Baron, about, it takes time, cross-gen, held things back. But what I want to say is, how the hell did Sony end up getting so far ahead? Because they were last to the punch with these features. Microsoft had it since launch. Sony didn't, and they just got ahead. They just jumped past Microsoft. They went from RDNA 1.5. Well, they went from RDNA 1.5. People were calling the PS5 the 30 FPS console. That was the fact. That was facts. And they end up being the ones with the best performance, at least from a first party. Every first party game has a performance option. Every single one of them. Sony has not launched a first party game where you're stuck at 30. Not a single one. Every single game, performance options. Every single one.
And they just been quicker to it than Microsoft. There's no way to get around that. That's just basically what it is. But as you noted, the first party games it's the reason why the people who actually manufacture a console tends to get the most power and performance out of the console first before anybody else. It's always been that way. This is why Nintendo can. Okay, I'd like to.
I'll let you have your little.
Let's get Ramon. Let's get Ramon real quick. Go ahead, Ramon.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so there's a few things that I wanna talk about. Like, there was a point some months back where I would have said, I pretty much liked what I saw at the 45-minute Dev Direct, and I'm excited to play Starfield. Now I'm saying I'm being conservative. I still think that it's something I want to play, but these past 2 years have me saying I'm going to step back and I'm going to see what happens. Now, because I've learned my lesson. That said, in terms of the whole performance thing, and I just want to push back a little bit when you said that PC guys coming to console, they can't take the 30 frames, and but console gamers, it's been 30 frames forever. Here's the thing: we were promised with these consoles to have specific capabilities. I distinctly remember all of the different demonstrations they showed, like on the Xbox, the machine learning and all the other stuff, and how when you're looking in a direction, everything is there, and when you look away, it's gone, but then when you look back, it's instantly there again. All of this stuff to save processing power and to save resources so that they can make these more ambitious games. Enter Starfield. I can't say it word for word because I'm not a developer, but I was lucky enough to talk to a couple guys that are actually developers at game studios, and they were explaining, they're like, one of the reasons they think that Starfield is ending up the way it is because they went the simulation route, meaning, the legendary damn sandwiches. Well, those sandwiches are there no matter where in the universe you are. If you're on a planet that's a couple of light years away, that damn sandwich is still on your desk in your office on, planet whatever, right?
It doesn't disappear.
It doesn't disappear, which in every item is interactable. I can appreciate the ambition behind it, but at the same time, it's frustrating because I bought this console to have higher performance, and I'm not getting that. Sure, I'm getting a big, expansive world, but they could utilize. And again, I'm making broad assumptions because I'm not a developer. I don't know how it works, so I'm just putting it out there. But with all of these different tool sets and features and everything that was supposed to go into this box, I was expecting to, at the very least, get, even if it's 1080p 60 frames per second, the whole thing was about options. And we have no options. And that actually sent me to PC because just one hit after another, I'm over here living my best life on my PS5. All of the first party games have given me options. On Xbox, it hasn't been that way. And I'm not going to, sit here and bash Xbox and say Xbox trash, blah, 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 blah. There are people who love the console and they're entitled to love the console. But for me, it made me frustrated because I bought a $500 console that is not delivering on the promises that it made. And I mean, that's not even an opinion. I'm like, we're looking at the results of this right now. Maybe they'll clean it up, maybe they won't. But at this point, it actually, they actually made me more inclined to build a PC so that I can play Starfield at a respectable frame rate. And I use air quotes with respectable because, I mean, that's opinion.
Please do. I mean,
it's frustrating, dude. Like
I have no gripes with what you said, but I think this is why they kind of started to do things differently about how they reveal consoles and show. You notice like back in the day they always used to do these tech demos. I'll never forget the tech demo they did for Legend of Zelda for the GameCube. And when the game came out, it didn't look nothing like that shit. So it's like or these tech demos they do for like Unreal Engine. You could go back and look at the Unreal Engine 4 tech demo. It was a game that really looked like that. So it kind of sets people expectations up. They did promise 4K 60. Will you ever see it? I think you will see it, but I think it's going to take time.
Well, it's going to be smaller games or 4K 60, but
I think it's definitely going to be the smaller games. They're going to be games the size open world like Starfield and stuff like that.
But even then, so let me do the super chat because there's a good point when it makes. So first, I'm going to say JD Gamer. He says P-Rock, not all devs will ever showcase what a console is capable of. But do you have any doubt that Coalition's next game will showcase the Xbox? I think Coalition would be one of the better examples of what the Xbox can do. But what the Xbox can do itself, I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Because we were promised a lot of shit. Hardware accelerated ray tracing, all this stuff. And look at the conversation in 2023. And will we ever know, right? So that's
because
one. So I think
the parity with the Series X. Like, will we know?
That's another thing. Like,
I spent $500. I spent $500 for a console that has to have parity with a Series S. I mean, and this isn't me making a statement. This is me asking a question. Will I ever get to see my $500 console maxed out? I feel confident I'll get to see my $500 PlayStation console maxed out, but the other way around, how can we know?
So so I'm thinking the two studios that I'm hoping, one is Coalition, and then the other one is Ninja Theory. Because Ninja Theory do make nice graphical. I'm hoping those two can set that.
I think I stand corrected because I think
right. But
if I'm not mistaken, I think the first game on Xbox that will do that, I think is Forza.
The what? The 4K 60?
Yeah, I think
maybe
gonna be
racing. But most racing games are easy to optimize when you think about it.
Well, that's basically what we're talking about.
Well, but for example, Forza Motorsport or even Gran Turismo, because of how the game is 4K 60. But if you notice, Forza Horizon is 4K 30. But at least Horizon has a performance mode. That's all I'm saying. Like if your quality mode is stuck at 4K 30, fine. They are $500 consoles, complete packages. So you can't expect these consoles to do what a 4090 or dedicated GPUs that in of themselves by themselves cost $500-$600. I get that. But again, what we don't understand is just like Forza Horizon 5 or whatever number it is, you have quality mode at 4K 30, but they say, hey, but you can play this game at 60 frames using performance mode. Yeah, options. That's literally what we don't understand. And here's the thing.
Is options.
And a lot of people are jumping on Starfield, but it's a big game. Then what happened to Redfall? Because that's another game that has no performance option. And the crazy part is it's a first-person shooter. By default, you should be playing that game at 60 frames. That's like FPS.
The developer didn't do a good job. That's all I can say.
Yo,
John. Here's the big thing.
Wait, let me get two more super chats. Let me get two more for the crowd, for the dudes to show. Thank you so much for the support. John Baptiste, he said, let's stop with this whole notion that because of Starfield size, that's why it's running at 30 FPS on Xbox. Redfall is a smaller game than Horizon Forbidden West, and it runs at 30 FPS on Xbox. Yeah, I just mentioned that. Great point, John. Exactly. And JD Gamer, PS made an easier to program console, period. I think that is true. I think Sony, and this is just to hop on that, and I said this in 2020, and people didn't listen because, apparently I'm just a Mexican that should be picking oranges, right? You motherfuckers, right? Listen, I said this, right? If you listen to Sony and how they talk and Lisa Su, Sony, at least PlayStation, they're very well in bed with AMD. It's not like they don't know who AMD is. They're great partners, right? In fact, Lisa Su was one of the architects of the PS3 cell processor. She worked for IBM. She made that sucker. So Sony's been working with her for years.
She made that trash?
Yeah, she made that trash. Yeah, that's her fault, right? But she's the CEO of AMD. So Sony and AMD, they work closely on making tools, whatever. What I was trying to tell people is all these RDNA tool set features are not exclusive to Xbox. It's not like Xbox invented mesh shaders and VRS and all this stuff. These are AMD technology. So if Sony is working close with AMD, that means Sony and the developers and the people building the console, they seen these tools also. They had access to them. And I was telling people,
customized iteration of it.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, if Sony also saw all these tools, why did they say no? And that's people didn't want to answer. Why did, Cory Barlog and Neil Druckmann and them, how come they didn't fight for these tools? Sony has some of the best developers in the industry as well. And for whatever reason, they looked at these stuff and they're like, yeah, we're good. We're gonna stick with our own shit. And nobody, and I put it in the chats, like Xbox dudes had the conversation. They did not fight for these feature sets, and nobody sat back and thinking, wait a minute, what does Sony know that Xbox Studio developers don't know? Because they could have gotten all these tools too. It's not like they were exclusive to Xbox. These were AMD RDNA tools. Sony could have easily said, yeah, give us, VRS tier 3, give us this. We want mesh shaders. We want it all. Here, fine, take it. But Sony's like, we good with what we got. Good luck with that stuff. And nobody asked the questions. Again, it's not like Sony has been developers, right? They got some of the best developers out there that make amazing games, amazing graphical games that people can't even believe that they're running on PlayStation hardware. And yet they said, nah, we're sticking with our own shit. But nobody wants to have that discussion. Because apparently the only thing I should be doing is stealing hubcaps or trim hedges. That's it. That's it.
P-Rock also fuck? not only was the discussion not had, but people made fun of the PS5 port, saying, it was RDNA 1.5 because it doesn't have the full feature set. But Mark Cerny, who, is it even a question? He's a genius. Mark Cerny actually went in, the AMSR developer deep dive, and he said they picked and choose what features they needed out of RDNA 2, and they left the rest because some of that stuff wasn't even useful in developing a console. So they picked out what they needed and they left the rest, and then some of the suite of tools they didn't have in official name but had the same function. And we're seeing how this all, we're seeing how it all played out, the big thing in
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. No, just the one thing that circles back around when we're talking about the reason why Redfall keeps coming up and the reason why, all of this stuff keeps circling back around is because, and it's something you said, P-Rock, many times before, it's not third party's job to show up and show out a console. It's first party's job to do that. And first party, everybody's looking at first party studios to really show what these consoles can do. And that's why everybody is just so upset. And, Redfall keeps coming back up because this is all first party stuff. And we're supposed to see, we're supposed to see the Series X really show out. And that's, that's where the disappointment is coming from.
All right, listen.
Go ahead.
First of all,
let me get extreme. Let's do extreme. Yes, you're next.
I'm really
proud
that you finally learned after Redfall, to just not believe these developers, especially not anyone. You're talking
to Ramon. You're talking to Ramon.
Exactly, specifically because you were exactly where EmpBruh is just a few months ago, and I had to go at you and tell you exactly what was up, and clearly,
I wasn't going hard. I just said it looked like it could be fun.
Yeah, you were going pretty hard with the delusion. Okay,
you didn't go ahead.
No. You can go back. You can go back and play the video.
He wasn't that bad. Extreme. He wasn't that bad.
It looked like it. I said it looked like it could be fun. I was even hesitant. I was like, wait and see. But it looks like
I did have to give you a slap on the wrist for that one. So but EmpBruh, let's.
This guy's ruthless.
Let's go real quick, okay? Because I've been sitting here patiently waiting for you guys to get back on topic. But here's the thing. First of all, the game is big thing. Like you've been told many times, this game has loading between things. Ramon, I know that you were not speaking as a developer and you could have misrepresented the words, but this notion, this complete delusion that somehow a game developer is going to associate any processing power to some sandwich that is 1,000 planets away from you, while you are doing something else and therefore taking performance hits. Like, are we dumb? Like,
no. Stop. That is true. No, that's not a lie, because that's literally how they make their games. I will give you a perfect example.
No. You gave me that example before. You told me about the bodies in Fallout 3.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
They do that. Why? I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I agree.
Those are not in memory at the time. Yes, there is a thing that keeps track of them, and that loads them in the area when you get there. But that is not in memory when you're in some other area, because otherwise that's what loading is.
No. So no. It is in memory. It is. So again, with the PS3 example, it was New Vegas. So because the bodies that never disappeared is stored in memory. So as you kept playing the game, every hour you kept playing the game, performance started getting worse and worse.
Wait, so you're telling me that performance getting worse even when you were not in that area with the bodies?
Yes, the whole game was just getting worse because the bodies, as you kill them, kept stacking because it wouldn't dump out of the memory. So they did a patch for the PS3 version, right? Where now any dead body would just disappear. That's how they fixed it.
Would they have learned that? Would they have learned that?
You would think, bro. You would think they learned from that bullshit.
Those devs that I got to talk to specifically used the word simulation, and they were like,
and I don't understand why.
I don't know. They were saying they don't know why Todd likes to go the simulation route, but they suspect that's why it's taking a performance hit on consoles, because he keeps going the simulation route where everything is there all the time.
Yeah, and the PlayStation 3 version of Vegas was so funny because literally the more you play it, the worse it got. It was the only game that if you enjoyed it, you will continue to get a worse experience as you're playing it. It was trippy. Like, it will start out 30 frames. After a couple hours, you see little things, and it will drop down to the teens. And it's like, yo, what is happening to this game? The game will buckle in its own way as you're enjoying playing it. It was so weird. And then when they updated a patch, that's when they realized, you know what? We're just going to dump everything. As you kill, or as you break, or as you move stuff, it will just disappear. And it's because of the weight of it's just, I don't understand why Todd Howard does that. It doesn't make sense. Like, who gives a shit about a sandwich in the planet Uranus? You're not there to eat it. So get rid of the shit. Like, it just, who gives a, I don't get it, man. And it's just, it doesn't make sense.
It's weird.
Next thing. The thing about the presentation of this game, listen, this is a console game that is coming from Xbox Studios. They should have had to show this running on the Series S, because if Microsoft believes that the Series S is their main platform, then you should show the game running on the console that the majority of your user base has. Showing it on the Series X will be one thing, sure, that'd be nice, but really it's the S that matters, okay? But they haven't shown it on any console. And the thing is, we keep coming up with this excuse of, oh, the game is just big. Then when we ask you specifically what makes this game bigger than Horizon, you're like, well, I don't know. So why is it that we're using it as an excuse then to justify the poor performance?
Okay, so why don't we just flip it on its head? What would cause a game like Starfield to have to be at 30 frames per second instead of 60?
They have shitty developers and it's a shitty garbage product.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. In my, if I would be without hateration, I will say this. There's potentially, in my opinion, Microsoft thought they built something that was gonna do something. But what I mean by that, they really believed in the Xbox. Remember, in the beginning of the gen, they honestly thought the Xbox Series S was literally the Xbox Series X, but 1080p to 1440p. But it was going to do everything only at those resolutions. Clearly, that shit did not end up true. I honestly think when they beat this consoles, they thought it was going to do something. But in practice, they're like, wait a minute. This is not actually doing... Because it's not just Starfield, right? Take, for example, Avowed. They completely changed the artistic style. Before, it was a more realistic, medieval game.
And already came out and said why they did that though.
Yeah, but I guarantee because the new graphical style of Avowed is a lot easier, for computation.
Obsidian, what it looks like now though.
I think they switched it up because they realized we can't go this hardcore route. We can't go this route, the realistic route. And I think they switched it up.
When I saw Avowed as opposed to that trailer, I was
it could still be a good game. I'm not lying. The game could still be great. But to first unveil Avowed the way it is and have everybody's like, yo, this could be the next Skyrim. This shit looks dope. And now you show the new Avowed and it's like, holy shit, like they completely changed the art style. Fine. The game could still be good. But people are wondering, why did you change the art style? That type of art style is easier on the hardware than what they originally presented. And I think there's something that overall, the tools, whatever it is, that console's not built right to what they were advertising. And now they just have to deal with, or maybe it's the parity. It could be this goddamn Series X, because of parity, we have to cater to the baby brother, which is holding back the Series X. That could be another thing. That could be another issue.
That's the only gripe I'll accept from y'all with that.
That could be
an actual real thing.
That could be. They changed the art style to cater the Series S performance. The Series X, it could be like, yo, I could beast this game. Just set me free. Send this motherfucker to adoption. I'm the good kid. Nah, we gotta help your baby brother out who's special. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And that could be the incident. That Series S could be screwing the whole pipeline up. And we don't even realize it.
That's what we've been saying since since forever now. And just like P-Rock, what your little bro said, same thing. Like, in we spent $500 for this premium console that's tethered to the Series S, and I wouldn't even be making these claims if like developers themselves weren't coming out and saying the same thing. They're just like, it's making things a little bit more difficult, and
Baron,
I want to see my console maxed out, but I don't know if I'll ever.
Baron, wait, Baron.
The thing I got to say to that, what Ramon just said.
Wait, hold on, Baron. You probably the one thing you probably could agree me with this statement. I guarantee you miss the PS3 360 era, because damn well during that era, developers didn't give a fuck. Remember Gabe Newell when the PS3 launched? He said, "Get rid of this shit. Just do over, Sony. Just do over. Release a new." He said, "That shit just launched," and he said, "Just release a new console. Just stop." They were ruthless. Yo, they were ruthless.
The and the PS3, it was wild. I mean, I'll never forget playing Bayonetta on PS3 and then going back and playing on 360.
It was bad.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yo, remember Madden was 30 frames? The first Madden was 30 frames on PS3. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And nobody gave no shit. Like, you messed up with a console. Nobody had an issue talking shit on any console. Like, developers and everything. Yeah. You release some stupid shit, they're going after you.
That's a good example because a lot of
times changed, bro. Times changed.
That's a good example because a lot of shit just ran horribly. I mean, on PS3, but that Killzone 2 was flawless. Boy, I loved the hell out that game. That ran flawlessly.
Gorilla was different, bro.
That's called first party. We circle right back around to first party.
Gorilla was different.
I'm saying, like, you just got to have certain expectations for certain developers. It's like some people can get it done, some people can't get it done.
First party developers are supposed to get it done. If nobody else can, first party developers are supposed to get it done.
And let me ask you this:
to completely dismiss Starfield size as not a valid reason, I think is ungenuine.
I don't think anybody's dismissing. I don't think it's dismissing it. We just don't really know. Like, again, I asked a simple question based on gameplay. What makes Starfield size any different than Forbidden West? Because that's a big game. It's open world, and you can travel miles in that game, right? So I want to know, as you actively play the game, where's the disconnect between those two? I don't see it. I played Forbidden West, but again, I don't want a too hard a comparison because I haven't played Starfield yet. But from what they've shown, sure, there's a lot of open world. You see mountains far away, but it was the same shit in Horizon Forbidden West. You see mountains far away, and you can actually walk to it and fly to it. You could go underwater in the ocean. So there's all this big shit in the world. You see what I'm saying? So that's where my disconnect. And I understand Starfield from the perspective of traveling.
Zero.
All right. And there's no loading. Like, you can literally just walk the entire map and actually go across the entire map on Horizon from end to end.
I mean, that's
and I just,
I mean, that's real.
But that's Gorilla though. But that's Gorilla though.
You also got to take in context, you know, what other processes they're doing in the game. Like I think one of my favorite
can you stop with the
comparisons-
excuses? Like Jesus
it's
Christ.
it's not excuses.
We've got to take in just mythological things. Like no, how about you just created a shitty game?
Well,
It is just an excuse. It is just an excuse.
Listen. Hold on, wait. If we can take your side of it and say maybe they created a shitty game, but we just can't stop right there. We gotta view every possibility.
Why do we have to be fictitious about things?
Okay,
because
I will.
Game is fictitious. There's no proof that it's a shitty game yet.
Okay,
I will say this.
So when it comes out, hold on. When it comes out
reason,
and it is a shitty game, you're gonna bring yourself to this podcast and you're gonna apologize to me, right?
Oh no, it's not gonna be a shitty game. I'm pretty confident.
No. But when it is, you will come and you would apologize. Yeah, just like Ramon is doing his walk of shame in front of me.
To you, because I know how y'all like to flip shit around. What will make it a shitty game to you?
We'll wait 6 months. I'm a patient guy. We'll see what the whole consensus is after the initial hype and everybody's over the novelty of it and everybody's over this. We'll wait a good 6, 7, 8. Let's make it pregnant. Let's wait 9 months. After 9 months after it comes out, okay, you come here and you'll apologize to me. Right?
Make it a shitty game. This is a simple question.
Don't worry. You know what? You determine that. After 9 months, I'm sure you'll see it.
I'm just saying it though. I want to know what will make it a shitty game to you.
Okay, let's talk about it. Number one, bad gameplay. Bad gameplay. Number 2, bad gunplay. Number 3, glitches. Number 4, bugs. Number 5, the fact that a lot of these planets are barren and there's nothing to do there. Number 6, the fact that there's loading when you are on the map going inside and outside of a building like it's fucking 1998.
Okay. So
no, I'm not finished. Let me finish. Number 7, no vehicles on the planet. Number 8, I can't fly in the sky and the atmosphere of a planet. Number 9, I have to load in and out of space. Is this enough? Did I fill your quota of shittiness?
Okay.
Have I compacted the shit enough in order to deliver it? What a shit sandwich this is going to be?
Shitty.
So none of those things I just said are shitty.
But that's also
you have bullets in the gameplay trailers that they have shown. Bullets that come from the sky above you, not from your gun, from the sky above you. Did you see that?
Maybe that was a glitch.
Have you seen bullets come out of a gun 10 meters above you? Have you ever seen that in a game? That is good.
Listen.
No, listen. Have you seen air bullets, my friend, in a good game? Yes or no?
Okay, listen. Because we just gonna go back and forth about our opinion. Let's put it.
No, but there's no opinion. I'm asking you. There's no opinion. Have you seen air bullets not come out of your gun, but of the sky above you? In a good game.
In the sky.
There's no one else. There is just you. Like, just stop. Go look at the trailers. Don't try and side skirt. I'm asking you a yes or no question.
Listen.
Have you seen in a good game bullets not come out of your gun but come out above you?
That's what gives it charm. That's the charm.
That's called charm. We have definitely seen that.
My friend, have you seen it? Yes or no? Why are we dodging?
Yeah. That's a good game.
Have you seen it? Yes or no?
It has a unique charm. That's a good game. It's a good quality. It's a good charm. It's like a take an arrow to the knee. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, P. I know that it hurts you to just see him being demolished like that, but I need him to take this work. Okay? Have you seen this? Yes or no?
No, I have not seen that.
Okay, you haven't seen that. No, let me go on to the next thing. Where's that video? I gotta see. In the gameplay trailer, there is a part where you make people levitate. Okay. I am sure you have seen levitation powers in many games. Now, did you know that when you make them levitate, the guns disappear out of their hands? They are shooting at you, and then you make them levitate, and then the guns pop out of resistance. Have you ever seen
Wait. Did that really happen in the? Did that really happen?
That happens in the trailer. I can find the link.
Oh my god!
No. Tell me what you think.
We did the little elevation power or something like that.
Exactly. But then the guns disappear. They pop out of existence. So you go ahead and you just tell me.
Listen, I don't know. We don't know how that works. So I don't know. Maybe
you don't know how disappearing guns work?
No, I'm not saying I'm saying we don't know if that's intentional or not. We don't know.
wait. So you think that they intend for the guns to pop out of existence when you use the power?
We don't even know what that power really is.
Not intentional.
So wait, hold on. So you're telling me that in the skill tree, yeah, there is this whole power levitation, and then one of the perks on the side is also makes guns disappear.
Listen, maybe it's levitation and disintegration. We don't know. That could be the power.
But it only happens to guns.
Yeah, that's it. It just happens to guns. Listen.
Wow.
At the end of the day, I think in order for this game to be considered not great, it would definitely have to have like an average score of lower than 85.
You see, the thing is, you see what I just did? I pointed to specific parts of the game. You talk about Metacritic.
Yeah, that's specific spots. We don't know if that's momentary or that happens throughout the game. We don't know that yet.
Oh, you don't know if the air bullets thing is going to be consistent throughout the game.
Let us know.
Okay, what about the fact that there are no vehicles on the planet, and they've confirmed that, and that is consistent throughout the game? What about that part?
Here's my question to you: if the game is garbage, believe the reviewers are going to let us know it's garbage?
No, not at all. Why?
No.
Look at what happened with Cyberpunk.
Why did you doing it before? So why would they have a problem doing it now?
What?
If reviewers had no problem trashing a Bethesda game before, why would they have a problem doing it now?
Because they've always protected Bethesda games. Like, look at Skyrim. Skyrim had dragons flying backwards, and they were like, "Oh, it's charming."
Fallout 76 did not get protected, sir, at all. So if
that's because Fallout 76 was ridiculed so much by the people. Because the thing is, this is a single-player game by Bethesda, and Bethesda is part of the protected mafia. It just is. It's like what happened with Cyberpunk. Look at Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite has an 87 on Metacritic. 87 for that trash game.
Bro, I mean, you speaking to the choir because Death Stranding was nominated for Game of the Year. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, listen, man. Death Stranding was a beautiful game.
Beautiful shit happens sometime, okay?
Beautiful game.
We understand that. Anomalies happen. But all I'm saying is...
But the thing is, here's the thing with Death Stranding. It had plenty of things... There's the thing with Death Stranding. It had plenty of things that people disagreed with. Like, yes, you were doing a FedEx simulator. But I will argue with this, man. If you wanted to play as a FedEx simulator... It's the best game out there. It's the best game out there. It's got everything. It's got packages. It's got weight. It's got physics on your packages. It's got rain. You've got to deliver things to people that expect things to be delivered within an inordinate amount of time. This guy expected me to scale an entire mountain for pizza in 15 minutes. It's the best FedEx simulator out there. But the thing is, it didn't portray itself as anything other than FedEx simulation. So it is a 9 out of 10.
This man said, listen, let me hit up, you can't even, Barry, you can't even argue against that. You can't argue that. He says, yes, it's a FedEx. Yes, it's a FedEx simulator, but it's the best one out there. Yo, my man.
If you don't want FedEx simulation, do not play Death Stranding.
Yo, he pulled a Captain Jack Sparrow on your ass. He's like, yo, you the worst pirate I ever heard of. Bah, but you have heard of me. Yo, my man, slick. He's like, yeah, but you heard of me though, right? Hold on, let me hit the super chats real quick. JD Gamer said, he said, yeah, but you heard of me though, right? Yo, JD Gamer, he said the truth about Xbox consoles. We're going to get very beautiful games by the end of the gen on Series X, but because of the S, it won't be complex. All right, we'll see about that. JD Gamer, he says, if Starfield scores over an 80 on Metacritic, whose knees can I have? If by chance it's over 90, who's calling me Nostradamus and giving up them knees? Now, I'm going to say this. Over 80 is not really something to brag about. I mean, 80 is a good score.
That's why I said it. I said it at 85. If it can't achieve 85 or greater, then I would consider that a disappointment.
I'm sorry, but Halo
expectation.
Infinite got an 87, so that means nothing.
You said
Whenever people bring up Metacritic and they're like, "Oh, listen,
bring up
$50
Halo
for this," I'm like,
Well, I
Halo
mean,
Infinite.
that's trust me. There's other games that you can have that argument to that got high scores that didn't deserve.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 77. It's not just Halo.
Once in a while, but in this situation,
so that's why it means nothing. That's why when you ask me why is it going to be shit, I didn't tell you anything about Metacritic.
Listen,
I told you about
situation,
specific things missing in the game.
In this particular situation, reviewers had no problem throwing Bethesda under the bus the last game.
No, hold on. So, just one thing. When was the last time you played an open world game, not on Nintendo product?
Not on a Nintendo product.
Yeah, not a Nintendo.
What was your last open world game? Yeah, outside of Nintendo.
I did listen. I did buy The Witcher on the Switch, but I did go back and play it on my Xbox.
No. Okay. When was the last one?
Witcher on the Switch.
Witcher 3. Yeah.
Okay, The Witcher 3.
That is some Nintendo fanboy shit I ever heard in my goddamn life. That shit was clay.
Let me explain this though. You got to understand what was coming out around the time Witcher 3 originally first came out. So that's why I missed that game.
Okay. So did The Witcher 3 have loading when you needed to go in and out of buildings?
Nah.
Okay. Did The Witcher 3 have mounts?
Have what?
Mounts.
Yeah, mounts. Like horses
and things like that.
Horses, mounts.
Oh yeah.
Why doesn't Starfield? And I don't mean a horse. Obviously, it would be some space sci-fi rover planet thing. Why doesn't it have that though?
I mean, what type of vehicle or mounts would you want in Starfield?
A car, or a motorbike, or a quad bike. Or
is it confirmed not to have any vehicles?
Or
is it confirmed not to have any terrestrial vehicles?
It's confirmed.
No terrestrial vehicles.
No vehicles.
Yes,
it's confirmed to have no terrestrial vehicles.
Yes, they said that. Yes, there will be no vehicles.
Are you disappointed yet?
Man.
Other than the starship that helps you leave off the planet. There's no. But
you can't even pilot that starship inside the planet. Like you cannot just fly it up 10 meters above the ground.
Oh yeah, it lands on specific spots.
And it departs from those spots.
Please let me just jump in for a second. That severely hampers exploration. If you have to do all of this on foot,
you got a jetpack.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know what they're intended for exploration, how they want exploration to be.
My God, wow. You went from being like shocked to immediately acquiescing. This is the little bitch syndrome in you. You're just like, wait, he hit me, but maybe I looked at him wrong. Maybe it was the way I used the microwave. He didn't like the beep.
What did you expect in it? Because we've never seen
I told you what I expected in it. I told you I expected a car, a bike, a rover, a catapult. Death Stranding had a catapult.
I honestly actually assumed there was going to be some form of a rover. I assumed that was going to be the case.
You keep assuming these games are going to be better than they are.
The funny part is Death Stranding did have a catapult. That's
exactly. Hey, Death Stranding has a little robot that you can ride. It's like a little bipedal robot.
And they had that zip line too. Those zip lines were really nice.
There are no zip lines in Starfield. Why are there no zip lines in Starfield?
This is the question I got though.
Oh my God, this is bad funny.
We only seen exploration on foot and with the jetpack.
Yeah, that's all there is.
So have they confirmed that's all that
is? Yes. Why do you think I lied to you?
I'll pull it up. Oh.
That's a very bold move. I will say that.
It's a bold move. Is it a creative choice? It's ambitious, isn't it? The way you walk everywhere.
The only way I can give that a pass is if the jetpack has settings where it's fast enough and you can go high enough to where you can get like a bird's eye view and then you can just fly to where you want to go.
If they do that, Ramon, if they have released an uncut gameplay, perhaps we would know that, but we don't.
Yeah, this for a game that size, that jetpack must have it must be upgradable to something that they ain't.
All right, so here it is. So let me read it. It says, as we already mentioned, Bethesda's Todd Howard appeared in a massive new Starfield interview with Kinda Funny Games earlier this week. And as part of this, he confirmed that the game won't feature any kind of land vehicles. The reason for this is because the team wanted to design a game so it feels good on foot. Although one thing Howard noted was that there's a boost pack in the game, which was featured in a recent Starfield Direct Deep Dive. We've seen this with our other games. Yeah, we've seen this with our other games. We want to design it so it feels good on foot. But we do have a boost pack. You saw some of that in the video. You have skills for boost pack. The boost pack almost act like a vehicle. It's super fun. And then the low gravity planets are just really something special in the game.
See, boost pack makes me nervous. Boost pack makes me nervous because boost pack sounds like I make big jumps.
Yeah, it's like an instant, like
that's
an extra.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And everything.
Yeah, like jetpack. Okay, I'm flying around. Boost pack makes me think I'm jumping 30 feet at a time.
But just like I said, he said it has a skill tree, so it's upgradable. So I guess we have to see what we can do.
So you could boost from 10 feet to 20 feet. And it'll cost you 2,000 experience points.
We'll see what we can do with that.
And listen, I'm gonna say this, Baron. I want to play. I say I love. I do it.
Wasn't too out of bounds, though.
Yeah, I do it. I'll say this. I will say this. Besides the graphical lack of stuff, whatever, I'm gonna play the game too because I am a fan of the Bethesda. I enjoy Fallout and I enjoy Elder Scrolls, right? The single player ones, right? But I did play Elder Scrolls Online and I did love that. I was loving the shit out of the game. But all I'm expecting really from Starfield, I have minimal expectations. So I'm not even got it. It's 30 frames, whatever. I'm gonna play on my gaming laptop. Hopefully it could at least provide me 1080p 60. If it can't, then I'll just have to wait to upgrade and get a better PC. But ultimately, all I'm expecting really is the same. That gameplay storyline. I just want to play the story, build experience, build my character, and just enjoy the story and finish it and make those choices. From like basically what Fallout and Elder Scrolls provide. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing all that extra shit. Going to an empty planet and I'm gonna build a whole colony. I'm not doing that Minecraft bullshit. I'm not doing that.
I'm doing all that shit.
I'm not doing that. I'm doing a side quest, but I am not building colonies. Fuck that. Fuck a colony.
You want to build an outpost, man? That shit.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
What I want to do. What I want to do is I'm not going to get to play it. No. I'm not going to get to play it till later because I'm building my. I'm going to be building my 4070. But when I do get to play it, I partially. Like you, P-Rock, the stories and the side quests and stuff like that. But if this game is at least most of what I hope it's going to be, then I plan on coming back to it from time to time over the course of like months and maybe years and continuing to explore here and there. If they pull off what I'm hoping they pulled off, because I do, even the planets that don't have a lot on it, still just exploring and seeing, because this is the closest I'll ever get to actually exploring space, right? So I mean, I do find it intriguing whether, even the planets that aren't, colonized and they're, just resources and stuff. There's no way I'm going to experience all those planets because I ain't got time for that. But I
think what you're saying is true. The no vehicle part it's more intriguing to me than the disappointment because you really gotta.
Hold on, I gotta stop. Aaron, no. Aaron in the chat. Aaron, no, we're not doing this, Aaron. You went full. Never go full Xbox. Look what he said. If you can't drive a car in Spider-Man 2, that's an L, huh? You can swing, so what? That's not enough. Nah, we're not doing that, Aaron. You're not doing that bullshit. No, you want Peter Parker to drive a Hyundai through Manhattan? What the fuck? You want Superman to take a bus ticket? Like, what are we doing here? Like, you need to. We are not doing that shit on this podcast. That's asinine.
That's an over exaggeration, but that's
over exaggeration. That is straight stupid. No, Baron. That is straight dumb.
Watch Baron. I got to fully push back on that. I got to fully push back on that. Go ahead. I want to see you take this stance.
That is not in the same realm at all. This is human transportation on vast planets that are supposed to be of an enormous scale. And on foot and with a boost pack, Like, I mean, they may pull it off, but what Aaron
man,
said is not even in the same league as what we're talking about.
My man said, why can't Venom drive a new Tesla? What are we doing here?
Nah, man, nah.
No, but here's the thing: there's certain expectation levels with
these
certain,
Xbox dudes.
No, I'm saying there's certain expectation levels with certain franchises. Of course, in Spider-Man, you don't want to get in the fucking car. You want to web swing. And Grand Theft Auto, you don't want to web swing. You want to get in the fucking car. So
when you explore planets, you want to be in a rover. I mean, look at
Mass Effect
the Martian. You had a rover.
Mass
Effect, you had the Mako. Like No Man's Sky, you have vehicles. Like you're exploring planets, man. Like I say, if it's a jetpack, that can save it. Boost pack, I just don't know.
That's a lot. That's a lot of land.
Wait. There's nothing to say that they're gonna do. They told you they're gonna do nothing.
My man said nothing with it. My man said if there's no airplanes in a Superman game, I ain't want it. You want Clark Kent to fly coach to the next destination. Hey, yo, this new Aaron cat. Yo, these Xbox dudes, y'all crazy. Yo.
obviously, from what Puerto Rock read, that's obviously they done that from a creative standpoint.
A creative standpoint, wow.
So, but I guess we'll get that answer when we play the game. Why did you not want no people to have vehicles? Why did you want to be on foot?
Because that garbage are making games.
You better have this experience. This better be the greatest on foot experience ever.
Wait. So you want a walking simulator, but then you divided Death Stranding?
No, I don't want a walking simulator. Obviously,
that's a walking simulator. You literally said on foot. Aren't you walking? Sorry.
No, you was walking in Death Stranding delivering shit and Starfield.
Wait. So when you go on a side quest to fetch something and then you bring it back to that person and you walk there and back, what do you call that? What do you call that?
You know they're gonna do that too.
When they're like, hey, go kill these alien tusks and then collect the tusks from the alien and then come back and walk back to me. What do you call that? You call that the shitty version of Death Stranding. That's what you call that.
That's not the same.
Yes, that's exactly what you're gonna play. You're gonna play, except Death Stranding is gonna be better at that.
He said you're gonna get alien tusk. You need to shoot and get me 2 alien tusk and deliver this shit.
Listen, Death Stranding had vehicles. You weren't on foot the whole time. You're gonna be more on foot in Starfield than you ever would have been in Death Stranding. We have motherfucking zip lines. You don't get that.
That's perfectly fine. It's all about how the gameplay revolves around it. And a lot of open world RPG games.
You know what's funny? Death Stranding has better gunplay than Starfield because my bullets didn't come from the air above me.
Lord have mercy.
Yo, Barry, you really can't argue with this shit, bro.
I'm laughing because when this game turns out to be great, what is going to be?
I hope. Who's over here?
Listen, this game is going to turn out to be garbage. That's fine.
You don't even know.
Who's this? Jay Barry. This Barry?
I want it to be great because
Barry, this you?
I really want it to be great.
No, it's not Barry.
Wait, hold up. Who's that?
It's True SSJ.
Oh, okay, because I just saw H. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is H? I'm like, what up, my brother? Hey,
y'all gotta ask y'all. There's a few questions I gotta ask about this game real quick. I want to know. I've been trying to ask this for like a good ass minute. How big are these planets? Are they real?
I don't know.
Planets?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They supposed to. They said something about caves, but like, are they expecting us to do all this shit on foot? If it's
I heard something. What I heard was the size of like Skyrim. I think
that's pretty big.
I don't know if all of them. I'm sure all of them aren't going to be that because not all planets are the same size.
Wait. That's not just Skyrim.
Starfield. I mean, Skyrim. You had like horses and shit.
Skyrim. Don't get me wrong. Skyrim's relatively big, but that's it.
I don't know.
I thought these were supposed to be fully scalable planets.
Don't quote that as fact because it was a long time ago when I heard it, but I heard they were saying like some planets are the size of, I don't know if it was the size of Skyrim or the size
they compared
of like
Skyrim. They compared it to something.
I'm not sure, but
I forgot. Yeah, they compared it to a game.
I'm sorry.
Traveling Skyrim on foot would be bad.
I'm sorry, but
we did describe the planet size in the 45-minute demo.
They did describe. I just forgot. Yeah, they did. They did compare it to a game. I don't know if it was Skyrim.
I'm sorry, I can't. I had to make a comparison to No Man's Sky. I mean,
No Man's Sky is huge. No Man's Sky is huge.
They do make full planets, and you can walk all across it. I mean, no limits, and you can fly your own vehicle, like from the planet to space and back down. And while you're on the planet, like you can fly it above the ground. Like that sounds like Starfield is lacking here, like completely.
Let me get some it's complete garbage.
Let me get some. Oh shit! Let me get some super boycott activity. Said question: is ground to orbit more taxing than sandwiches? Them sandwiches is lethal, but there better be some good ass sandwiches, bro. There better be some Jimmy John's or some shit. Funny man, have a hunger meter. Something, bro. Funny man. He says Puerto Rock. Bad
I'm really
news.
mad at them sandwiches.
He said bad news. The chicken box at McDonald's is no more. Greetings from Germany. For real?
Dang.
Yo, man. I'm telling you, I gotta put Extreme on to that chicken box from McDonald's, bro. It's gonna change.
I just told you it doesn't exist no more, man. You're gonna have to go for another
man?
country.
That shit was. I will find. I'm gonna send it to Australia. Bring the chicken box.
You know, it'll probably last. They'll be like, yeah, it's McDonald's. It'll last 2 years.
It'll be my treat. And then we got SJ. He says, "You mind if I ask something, bro? You know you always walk up in here, bro."
And you know I'm going to ask it.
Just give me a warning when you change your name, because I saw H. I'm like, oh shit, somebody invaded. They're about to show porn up in this.
This name.
I was ready. I was ready to boot you, boy. I had that boot ready, boy.
Oh man.
No, go ahead, man. What's the question you wanted to ask?
All right, I'm just saying now. Just hearing all this stuff, right? Just hearing like all the bugs, all the compromises that I've been hearing, like from this game from the start, like and the fact they have half the features that a game that came out. When did No Man's Sky came out?
It was last gen.
Yeah, so a game that came out last gen doing way more than this particular game, and somebody said this is not about exploration. I could have sworn they said this game is all about exploration. Why is this considered next gen? Am I supposed to be excited for this? It seemed limited.
Well, I can answer some of that. I can answer some of that based on what was said, and I'm answering it. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just answering it. Everything in the world is interactable. If you walk by a book, if you walk by a glass of wine, if you walk by a freaking sandwich, if you walk by a pen, a piece of fruit, everything is supposed to be interactable. And that's a lot of processing power. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it personally. I hesitate to say the word wasteful because I don't want to be disrespectful, but to me it just seems like it's just doing too much for the sake of being able to do it, when they could have allocated that to something else. But it's their game is not. But that's part of the reason why we have the.
Hey, look at the screen, right? Somebody did somebody took the 45-minute Starfield presentation, and then he took No Man's Sky footage and did a direct comparison. I mean, the console war aside, like, look at No Man's Sky, bro. Like, what is Starfield doing that No Man's Sky is not doing?
I was literally looking at No Man's Sky gameplay. I was thinking, debating.
You could look at it on the screen. Like, what is Starfield doing right now that we're not seeing from No Man's Sky right now?
Again, it comes down to, and I just want to preface it again. I don't agree with this. But the full interactivity with every
look at the mechs. This shit got mechs.
Is really freaking demanding.
No Man's Sky got mechs.
So you're saying the reason this thing is 30 frames per second is because we have like 1,000
sandwiches,
Skyrim map objects, places with a bunch of objects in it.
Your true essence.
And the fact that nothing disappears and goes away. Everything is always there.
You don't even have sentient alien species. Besides, like, there's only humans that are in the intelligent species.
Well, you got the Tusk. You got the alien. You got the alien elephants.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. You have like beasts and everything. But you don't have any sentient alien species.
Yeah. There's no sentient like that you interact with.
So
there's all humans.
So they even lose out on Mass Effect 1 from like way back when.
Oh shit! This guy says you're not even.
Alien.
He said you're not even 1960s Star Trek. You're not even 1960s Star Trek.
Damn.
You haven't even done the 60 Star Trek,
Like,
yet, let alone.
And the thing is, you look at the Starfield gameplay, and at the end of the day, the reason that there is one's garbage, after all of the other reasons, my very last reason number 10 is that it's just not fun. There is no part about that game that looks fun. But you're welcome, Chad.
I'm hoping that. Listen, again, I have the lowest expectation. Just give me Fallout and Elder Scrolls feeling, and I'm good. But if you,
the thing is,
I will say this. I will say this. And I said this. My biggest fear, not fear, but my biggest disappointment, that I would be afraid that the game is built to be that world building simulator, like Minecraft, like a variation of Minecraft, where sure, have a little side stories, but the whole meat and potato is for you to go another planet and start building shit. Then once you build it, go to another planet, start building shit, which starts now setting the trends for money transactions. You can buy more building blocks and more this. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of.
To like Fallout.
They have 1,000 planets.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Only 4 cities. We have more cities in one country than they do in 1,000 planets.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Forbidden West had more settlements than all of Starfield's.
That's the only thing I'm nervous that the game is purposely designed.
I'm not gonna lie, this No Man's.
That shit looks big, right?
Cut you off.
And you can play this in VR.
It's looking really good.
And you can play this in VR.
Like, I never had a chance to play this, but this
I got a VR headset too. And it's crazy because I was watching.
Wild.
Man, I think I'm getting sold on No Man's Sky.
Mechs? This shit has mechs. I didn't realize this shit had mechs that fight each other. I was like, wait a minute, look at this shit.
Just buy No Man's Sky and then just let Starfield take 2 or 3 years. Okay, play it on PC when the mods will have built the rest of the game for them, because that's what mods do.
But look, y'all, I'm the king of looking at pointless videos, but No Man's Sky, right? I'm looking at somebody traveling across a planet. Like, he literally walked from the North Pole to the South Pole back all the way around, like a full rotation. All right,
wow.
That thing took like 8 literally walk. Well, I ain't watched the whole thing, but
yeah, right. You watched the whole shit.
I did watch the whole.
He said, "I'm the king of pointless videos."
It was literally like 4 hours. It was like 4 hours per video, like up to like 4 videos and like 4 hours each.
This guy did the Tour de France of video gaming, bro. My man saw the whole.
And mind you, I think he sped up some parts too, which is crazy.
Oh shit! My man did the Tour de France of video game. I'm gonna walk this whole planet.
He brought that whole damn planet. This shit was crazy. That was getting monotonous at the point.
I'm just saying, man. We'll see. So me and EmpBruh, we'll see, and then we'll come back 9 months.
That's right. Take a pregnant pause.
We'll come back when that Metacritic drop. I'm gonna come back.
It's not gonna take me 9 months to beat the game, because I just do the story, the side missions, and unless they bring DLC like expansion packs, I am not doing no world building shit. That shit ain't happening. I'm not gonna visit a planet.
I'm just sitting here getting sold on No Man's Sky right now.
No Man's Sky is crazy.
I felt the same exact way, bro. I felt the same exact way. But if Starfield turned out to be a bunch of sandboxes,
they put so much shit into No Man's Sky. It's crazy.
It's a lot.
All this.
But you gotta understand, P-Rock. They started off with one thing, and then it was a continuous thing going. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was app update after update, and then
that guy went dark. He got off of Twitter. That dude got off of Twitter, and he just put in work and look.
Yeah, they really did. They did what they had to do.
I call this the comeback game of the year because this game got slaughtered when it launched.
Yes,
I remember. God, I remember this game getting ripped apart.
And it has multiplayer. So yeah, it has multiplayer to it.
It has multiplayer?
It has multiplayer.
You can talk to because you're in space. And it kind of makes sense.
It has it has like quintillion planets and like multiple galaxies. And
anyways, here's the thing, guys. Listen, Ramon, Baron, all of you guys, you should be looking at Starfield and be like, you should be doing everything that No Man's Sky is doing, and then on top of that, giving me the Bethesda story and the RPG flavor on top of that. There should be a 1-to-1 equivalent for everything. If No Man's Sky has rovers, Starfield should have their own vehicles. If No Man's Sky has aliens you can talk to and cultures you can interact with, Starfield should have the same.
Yeah, I gotta give.
We shouldn't be looking at the 60 developer studio in No Man's Sky and be like, oh yeah, Starfield, you get to just be garbage because you get to have made Starfield 30 years ago.
I really gotta give it to you too. You notice that the bullet's not coming from the gun.
Yo, this motherfucker, he could really ruin shit, bro. Extreme could really ruin shit, bro. For real, that air gun shit threw me off, bro. Like I don't have an answer
the bullets
for that,
was coming
bro.
off the side.
He said the bullets coming from the sky.
So after all that, what's your prediction on the Metacritic for us?
I'm gonna say
95.
Oh boy, I don't know.
I said 95.
Okay.
I know my people. I know this journalist.
He's giving the protection tax.
Exactly. You get the protection. Are you kidding? People call him God Howard. Are you fucking serious? You think I'm gonna be objective about this? Are you joking? 95, man.
And 95. It's supposed to be like another game, like Skyrim, Fallout.
Especially after Baldur's Gate 3 got a 97. There is no way. The way that people are pitting these three games against each other, which by the way I don't agree with, but the way that people are pitting them against each other, their protection force for Starfield is going to be in droves. 95.
Starfield will have a 92. I don't think it's going to be that high.
You know what? I'm disappointed by your low expectations.
I'm gonna say
I'll give it an 89.
I'm gonna say 88 to 90. That window, 88, 89, 90, 90.
AMC Rock on the same shit.
It's in that cusp. It's in that cusp.
Yo, P-Rock, there is no way they are going to allow this game to score less than Horizon Forbidden West, first of all. So we know that the floor is 88.
It's horribly flawed.
That's the minimum. 88's the minimum.
The minimum is 88. There is no way.
Where did Skyrim and Fallout on land? Fallout 4.
Skyrim? All right.
Skyrim was Game of the Year. I know that.
Oh yeah, it was a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'll tell you right now. Let me look.
Skyrim was 84 in some places. No, 94. 94.
Yeah.
In some places.
And how about Fallout 4?
So Skyrim on
but it has
PC
so many versions.
Was 94, on Switch 84, on VR 77. Let's see, where's the Xbox version? Skyrim Special Edition. Where the fuck is?
What's the other game? The Persona Xbox?
Look at the original release. Don't look at the re-release.
No. I'm looking at the original release. I need to see.
The original release is 94.
So the 360 version. The 360 version was 96.
See?
The PS3 version was 92.
Well, the Fallout 4 was,
and the PC version was 94.
On PlayStation, it was yeah.
I'm sticking to the 92. I think that's where it's going.
For Xbox.
Fallout 4 was 87.
Yeah, on PlayStation, and 88 for Xbox One.
Yeah, 88, and then on PC, 84.
So 89.
Like I said,
it could be 89.
95.
Oh shit!
So I'm thinking, garbage.
I'm saying 95. The window. I'm saying the window of 88 to 90, like that cusp, because you're gonna guarantee every game has that one review where the game's like 30 trash. you're gonna have that one dude that wants that clout, and they're gonna get it, and they're gonna get that 30, and everybody's gonna talk about that 30. That's just how.
Your social journalist, I don't remember who did it, but social journalist already came out and said if it gets an 8 out of 10. People are hating on the game.
Oh shit! Right? You can't give it. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I'm seeing that already.
I am telling you, this game will be protected like the Pope.
Oh shit!
You are not gonna get anywhere near this game with a bad review score.
All right, man.
We've seen enough of Metacritic to know that that's not outlandish claim at all. Because Metacritic is horribly flawed. Like I got issues with Metacritic.
I mean, listen, you got guys doing a review. You got guys doing reviews who don't even beat the game and they only get paid $20. So what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? They only get paid $20.
We've seen review bomb. We've seen review pads. Metacritic. I just wish they could evaporate out of the conversation until they fix the format of their website.
P-Rock said they booted up to the title screen and wrote a review.
That's it. They use Chat GPT to write a review. They didn't write the shoe. Yo, we're gonna cut the show. We're gonna do our outros. We're gonna start with Extreme, brother. Let them know where they can find you in 9 months.
Guys, listen. You can find me right here, probably next week or whatever. Okay, I just need someone to save the date. Okay, calculated 9 months from Starfield's release. We're gonna take a pregnant pause, and then all these people will be coming back. Their heads hanging low, their dress dragging, the shoes, high heels in the palm of their hand, trying to get an Uber in the morning, doing the little walk of shame, saying, Extreme, you were right. The game Metacritic-wise was high, but it was actually pure garbage, like you told us. The air bullets were still there. There were still no vehicles. Death Stranding is a better walking simulator anyway, and it has vehicles and better gunplay.
Oh my gosh! I just realized
the truth is, Death Stranding has more sentient alien species than Starfield does in its entirety.
All right.
And you just opened my eyes. It really is a walking simulator.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. You literally do nothing but walk and jump. Okay?
All right. Next is EmpBruh, my brother. Oh, he muted. Hey, quick question. Before you do your outro, because I want to see if you could give us an update on your career, which again, I'm saying, hey, we all proud of you, man. Listen, again, I'm going to say the story. The first time I seen EmpBruh was on YouTube, and he remembers this. I don't know how it ended up my feed. He was complaining that America lost the bid for the 2022 World Cup, and it went to Qatar. Listen, if you have not seen that, type in the EmpBruh Qatar FIFA. That shit even made the news. He's like, I can't even find the goddamn thing on the map. He's like, it gets 120 degrees. Who the fuck is gonna play soccer in 120 degrees? He goes, God damn it, I'm sweating right now thinking of that shit. You gotta see the video. It is fucking hilarious. He was pissed. And I'm thinking, damn. And my thought, I'm like, there's a black dude that likes soccer? I'm like, yo, who? I'm like, in America? From Atlanta? I'm like, what? He was mad.
You watch yourself, all right? You watch yourself.
He did say in the U.S. Extreme.
In the U.S. Because Baron's he's in Atlanta. I'm like, motherfuckers watch soccer in Atlanta? I'm like, what? Yo, he was mad. He's like, hey, he had a map. He's like, point to me, Qatar the map. Exactly. You can't find the shit. He said, my LCD TV is bigger than the country of Qatar. I'm telling you, you got to see the video. That shit was funny. And then he got into the gaming community. Oh man, with the whole, my man was hyping the Wii. I'm like, grown ass man hyping the Wii. What the fuck is going on in this community? And that's why pulled me in. I'm like, yo, this shit is him, Baron. Yo, that shit was funny. It was a funny time, man. Those were the days, bro. Man, look, those days
are way better than now.
Hangouts, Skype was ruthless, unfiltered. Everything was just organic. It was natural. Oh my god, them days was funny. But anyway, so quick question. How do you feel about how do you feel about Baldur's Gate potentially being a contender for Game of the Year, taking it away from Zelda?
All right, I'm gonna answer that after I answer your first question. Number one, I just want to give disclosure. I still get death threats and comments on that video.
Really? From that video? Really?
Yes.
That was like decades ago. What was that? That was like 2007, 8?
But you know,
hold on, I'm gonna look for it, bro. You know what? I'm gonna show it
last year, so it's hilarious. But
what was your username? It was EmpBruh. It was Baron. It was Baron at the time, right? Baron.
It's YouTube. It's the same name right now. That's on the screen. It's the same name. I just put the EmpBruh in it. But I still get messages. People do. It's hilarious. It went viral in like the Middle East, like earlier this year. Because I was getting a bunch of comments in Arabic. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I found it. Hey, you know what? We're gonna watch it. Look at the video's so old. It's at 480p. That's how old the video is. It's at 480p. I got it right here. I found it. Look at him.
Everybody can go watch it. Like
this guy looked like he looked like he's 16 years old in this video. Look at him. Hey, everybody, just chill out. Watch this shit. Some of you's gonna be like, you gotta be kidding me. This shit is funny. So now here's the background. So there was a bid for the 2022 World Cup. So this was like 12 years ago. So it was between the USA, Qatar, and some other country. So everybody thought USA got it. Like it was on lock.
Yep. And guess the city that was.
And FIFA opened this envelope and they said, and the 2022 host for the World Cup, Qatar. And now we're about to hear Baron.
Oh man.
You know, some things get to me more than others. Things that get to me can be surprising to some of the people that know me. But when I heard this while at work listening to the motherfucking radio, it made me cringe inside. It made me furious. Not that the U.S. lost the bid. You know, it's kind of hard for the U.S. to win over FIFA officials, but who the U.S. lost the bid for the 2022 World Cup to?
That man was already a wrestler.
Country named Qatar. Where the fuck is that at? I don't know. I still ain't found it on the map, and I'm pretty good with geography. But I got to say one thing about this. Are you fucking kidding me, FIFA? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This TV.
Now when it's done, read some of the
comments.
comments.
Qatar. Are you kidding me? 1.7 million people live in that country. What? That's the total amount of people living in that country. It's the size of a pea on a goddamn plate. It's smaller than Connecticut. It can't even hold the event. How in the fucking hell are this country supposed to hold an event that brings in 2 times the amount of people that's in the country itself? Does that make any goddamn sense? Are you fucking serious? Guess what's the kicker? Guess what's the kicker though? The city that the World Cup was to be held in, it ain't even fucking built yet. You gonna give the World Cup to a country, to the city that ain't even built yet? What? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Wants to know what the biggest kicker is? This is what the biggest kicker is. They only got 2 of the 12 stadiums needed for the fucking event. They have no public transfer motherfucking-tation. They got to fucking spend $40 billion on that. You know what I'm saying? Guess what the other kicker is? It gets 130 fucking degrees in July there. Who the fuck wants to play soccer in 130-degree weather on a consistent fucking basis? Does that make any goddamn sense? That shit pissed me the fuck off. 1.7 million people total. The size of Connecticut. How in the hell can you hold the world's largest sports event in a country that can't even squeeze all the people in it? Does that make any goddamn sense? This proved right here that the whole fucking world hates America. No matter what. They pulled out all the fucking stops. They met all your goddamn requirements. They bidded billions and millions of dollars. Hell, they even brought out President Bill fucking Clinton. Who the hell doesn't like Bill Clinton? Come the hell on. Are you serious? Are you serious? This country is not even prepared to host the goddamn event, and they still beat out America for the fucking World Cup. Tell me how that makes any goddamn sense. FIFA, I'm gonna put you in the boat with fucking Spike TV. You gonna respond to me. You gonna give me an explanation for this bullshit. This is the most controversial, outrageous shit I have ever seen. That's like holding the fucking WrestleMania in the middle of fucking Kansas where it's nothing but farmland. That's like holding the Super Bowl in Biloxi, Mississippi. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make any sense. You goddamn right I'm mad. Type you mad all the fuck you want. I am mad. Blatant disrespect.
Can't believe this shit is.
Remember those days? You mad?
Oh man,
This
this
year's
is
World
hilarious.
Cup has generated a lot of attention here in America that it has in the motherfucking past. In the recent past, a lot of people was into the World Cup this year, and we can't even get a bid to win the World Cup for 2022. 2022, 12 years from now, we can't even get that.
So this was 2010.
Even though America will be the logical decision to bring in the most money
Yeah,
for the
I remember
event.
because I
And
remember
plenty of
Metro and other M
venues
came
to
out
host the fucking
around
event.
the time I made
We got
this
plenty
video.
of space. You ain't got to worry about building no public transportation. We ain't got to build no goddamn city. Are you serious? I don't give a fuck how much oil and money they got. This is going down in history as the most baffling, mind-boggling decision I have ever seen. And the reason I'm so upset because I was getting back into soccer. Little known fact about me, I played soccer for 3 fucking years. I played at a pre-team when I lived in Germany for 3 years. Ooh, I lived in Germany for 3 years.
You lived in Germany?
Y'all didn't know that, huh? It's a lot of things about the
I love Germany.
But the thing is,
Yeah, I told you that.
I love Germany, man. Fuck, I miss that place.
And now what?
As a military kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Why? Now I remember.
Because they got money.
Got money.
Fuck that they can't hold the event. Fuck that the city ain't even built. Fuck they ain't got no public transportation. Fuck that none of the stadiums that we gotta hold this tournament in is even fucking built. We just gonna give to it away. Fuck that how we gonna squeeze fucking over 2 million people that come to this event into this little ass country. We're just gonna give it to you because you got a lot of money and we fucking hate America. FIFA, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm serious, motherfuckers. I'm serious. Fuck you. Got me motherfucking sweating.
Wow.
I can't run outside and then take my jacket off. I was so pissed off. Fuck you, FIFA.
Yo, Baron, you sounded like Extreme right there. I like that.
Yo,
I like that.
I'm telling you, that was my first introduction. That was my first introduction to Baron. And then after that, I saw him in the gaming community. Then I seen the hangouts. I'm like, yo, this shit is funny. This community is funny.
Yo, what happened to all that fire, Baron? What happened to all that outrage for bullshit?
Hey, listen. I had my hopes up, and they crushed me, so I was tired of the bullshit.
That's it.
At that point in time. But
that's how you're gonna be in 9 months when Starfield destroys you. I'm looking forward to that. Jesus Christ!
Everybody has the time. Just go to my channel and read those comments.
I got to. Anyway, what you been up to with wrestling, man? What you been up to, brother?
Oh, I'm gonna answer that Zelda question too. I ain't forgot, motherfucker.
Okay.
But I've been on the injury block, so I've been laying low for a little bit. But but no, I'm good now. So you'll see me on some screens very soon.
Man, definitely tweet it out and let us know when you're back in the game, bro. Because that's just awesome.
I'm gonna let y'all know.
You see,
I'm
just tired of seeing you losing, bro. Like, man, bro.
Hey, man, listen.
What is your record right now?
Like, yo, I'm thinking the writers are racist. I'm thinking the writers are racist. I'm like, yo, they're racist as fuck. Now, even in February, I'm like, goddamn, it's African American History Month. Like, but black is black. Come on, bro. Like, not even a win. Yo,
what is your record again?
No, this you can't say stuff like that in 2023. So let's not start that now. You can't say those shit. But
it starts over. It's all right now.
It's a Baldur's Gate 3 versus
Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, how do you feel that potentially Baldur's Gate 3 could take Game of the Year away?
Let me say this real clear and loud for everybody, or for the select group that's keep yelling Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
There's no way in hell Baldur's Gate 3 is going to beat Tears of the Kingdom of Game of the Year. Y'all live in the fantasy land. Is not going to happen. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That 4-generation old top-down camera view and that turn-based combat ain't going to beat Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So let's be realistic about it. There's nothing about it that's really pushing gaming forward, except if you want to bear to clap your cheeks, maybe that's pushing gaming forward to you, but it's not to us. The rest of us that got common sense. So let's just be for real about it. And there's so much Tears of the Kingdom has done for gaming, period, and open world games for period, and it set a new standard for open world games. And the fact of the matter is that, they had a game that you can pretty much do anything your mind imagines and it doesn't break. Is just incredible in its own. So
Starfield gonna learn from Zelda?
So
is Starfield gonna learn?
No. I would hope so. I would hope so, but I think one of the funniest things.
Wait, Baron.
The funniest videos on YouTube is a comparison between Breath of the Wild and Horizon. Y'all need to go watch that. It's the funniest
do you have
thing
a partner that works on Starfield? Because you have so much passion, so much energy, so much truth speaking when it comes to FIFA and when it comes to I listen. I'm not gonna go against you on the whole. What is it? Zelda versus Baldur's Gate situation, because I wouldn't go against you on there. But the thing is, it's like you're a different man. And then when it comes back to Starfield, you're going to little bitch mode again. What's going on there?
Oh my god, the disrespect.
Oh, man, he was moved by
the disrespect. But listen,
all right.
He was moved by the speech before.
The only
hit the like button.
Come close is probably Starfield. No, Spider-Man does not have a chance. Y'all just need to get over that.
You think Starfield will come close to Zelda?
I said it will come the closest. Zelda's not going to lose, period. That's number one. But it probably will come the closest.
Starfield?
That's how
I am confused by you, sir. I am confused by you.
I think Tears of the Kingdom's getting it.
What other game could it be if it's not Starfield? Honestly.
I don't think Tears of the Kingdom.
How about Diablo 4?
Oh no. You gotta understand, Breath of the Wild it got critical acclaim in every category. You know what I mean? Like
but Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, so did Baldur's Gate though.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom. So it's
sequel.
like,
it has that sequel
with it first. That ain't got nothing to do with it. At all.
It's just
DLC.
DLC.
It does.
It's just DLC. I'll play. It's just DLC, bro.
So it's like, it brought innovation. It did a lot of stuff. Of course, the storyline was great. The reviews are great, and on top of that, the sales were incredible. So it's like it's going to take a game to exceed at every facet to beat Tears of the Kingdom. It's just not going to happen. It's just not.
I don't think so.
Hey, True SSJ, what's going on, my brother? Where you been at? Doing the Lord's work?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of work. I just happened to see you on. I was like, let me watch you. And then we hit Starfield. I was like, let me hop on because I got a lot of things to ask about Starfield. But as of late, I need your prayers, man. My brother is going through something right now. He's been in the ICU.
Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You got the prayers. You got our prayers, bro.
I know. I've been trying to stay as positive as possible, but everything will be all right. I'm trying to do more content in any kind of way possible, but I need to find the motivation, man. It's hard.
Hey, man, you let me know, man. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's podcasting and shit, whatever, man. Let me know how I can do to help out. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I am trying.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't get no traffic to my channel. I have no idea.
Bro, don't worry. We got the crew. We roll up. We'll roll deep on your channel. I'll talk my shit. You get a couple of Xbox. Watch me thrash them live on the air. You'll get your shit trending. Bro, we get you. We'll get you up. We up in there. You know what I'm saying? But it's good here for you. Hey, prayers to your family, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank
you, bro.
Wish and pray for a speedy recovery. All right?
Thank you.
As for everybody else, man, you know how it is. You only friend these YouTube streets, Porter77. Hit the like button. More importantly, send a little prayer to my boy, True SSJ. You know what I'm saying? Send another prayer to EmpBruh Baron for his next win. That shit might not come till Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a little while. Did he leave or he's still here? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hey, I hope you enjoyed.
And also
I'm still asking about that record.
So praying for PS5, that next year lineup looking dry as fuck.
Oh,
still praying for that too.
Man, hey, listen.
Seriously, I gotta ask, what's that record?
What's that? What record? Oh shit.
Baron.
Oh, they go by seasons now, so it resets to 0.
Okay.
It's a new season. It's like football. It's like football and basketball.
What are you talking about?
It's a new wrestling record. It's a new season.
It
starts over. He's 0-0. It's a new season. It's the 2023 season. It starts all over. Now, shout out to Baron, man. We're really happy for you, bro. Hey, anyway, thank you so much for rocking out. Hit the like button on your way out. We are out of here. Hopefully see you next week with another show. You guys take care. Peace.